and welcome to the show. The Jeff Davis Show is a live call-in show, so give Jeff a call at 477-2288, 477-2288, or 477-ACTV. If you want to write the Jeff Davis Show, it's P.O. Box 19061, Austin, Texas 78760. You want to contact Jeff off of the air, give him a call on the comment line at 370-9558. 370-9558, 24 hours a day. Just a short announcement about the capital crime tapes that we ran November 11th. We are trying to get to your calls. We've had hundreds, literally hundreds of calls on the capital crimes tape, and it will be running again around Christmas time while Jeff is off on vacation. Jeff is coming to you live from the studios here at ACTV in beautiful East Austin on November 18th, 1996. Remember, November 25th, that's next Monday, it's Justice for the Davidians. That's Monday, November 25th, 1996 at 7:30 p.m. right here on Channel 10. You'll have 3 hours of live call-in to call the surviving Branch Davidians. Remember, the Jeff Davis Show comes to you every Monday night from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. right here on Channel 10. Remember, Jeff Davis's opinions are his own and are not necessarily those of the staff, ACTV, or the producer. And now, here he is, the man that wants to save your children's liberty and save you from a new world order, a real role model, Mr. Jeff Davis. Woo!
Hello, Austin, Texas. We are back. I hope we're looking all right here. We're looking all right. We have another exciting show coming up for y'all. We have several different clips. I have one of my old friends here again with me this evening. We have about a 15-20 minute news segment coming up later on in the program, and then later beyond that we have scheduled to have the Project UFO people in. First off, Andy, we got to thank our crew here. Don't you think they do an outstanding job running around, working, getting this all set up as best as they can? Don't you agree with that?
You have an excellent crew and excellent studio here.
Excellent crew, excellent studio, and we just want to thank the people behind that are working behind the scenes to make this the best production that it can be. And of course, a live production, you're going to have, understand you're going to have some, you're going to have some problems here and there of live things. But the fact of the matter is, it's my personal opinion, we have absolutely the best crew of anybody at ACTV. So, with that, I want to go ahead and just, now you're actually, last Thursday we mentioned that you were leaving for Ohio, and coming back, going back Friday, but you decided to stay a few extra days, and we got talking last night about some things. And I want to just bring some issues up in that a lot of people, I don't think, that are really even paying any attention to. And you and I both agree that this is very much the case. You said you were recently stopped by some law enforcement person, the city, state, or county, and then I was myself about 6 weeks ago. And first off, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your experience, and then we're going to tie it all into the way we perceive a lot of our lost rights as opposed to maybe 100 years ago.
Okay, as far as the experience that I had, Jeff, it was an experience where I was just treated rudely and told to shut up 3 times, and they searched my car and was, not treated professionally. I've been a city employee for 14 years myself. I always try to be polite with the public, and I expect to be treated politely by public officials, just like anyone else.
Okay. Now, what about what we were talking about last night? And that being the fact that well, let me just mention that this happened to me about 2 months ago as well here actually it was in Williamson County at the time. But actually what happens is that they're sitting along the roadway and they decide they want to pull you over, and they get behind you and they turn the lights up behind you and you have to pull over. Okay, so at a minimum, it's 15-20 minutes of your time that's lost. Okay, now with me, in my case, I had to dig through all my stuff to get my insurance, all of this. They checked inspection and all of this stuff, and I had to get my insurance and all these things. Do you believe, Andy, that the public is generally not even thinking about the fact that we are being violated in a situation like this? Forget the fact whether it's a nice cop, bad cop, whatever his demeanor might be. But the fact is, you're talking about being stopped, having your private property searched, basically against your will, just because they deem that they can do that. Does it not seem like that possibly that we are being, that in your perspective, that we're being violated?
Well, we certainly are being violated, and I think the thing that troubles me the most, Jeff, is that people don't seem to, at least the majority that I speak to, they don't mind the helicopters in the sky that are checking your speed in the sky. They don't mind being pulled over for random drunk driving stops to see if you've been drinking. Sobriety checkpoints.
Yeah, right.
And as far as being stopped by a police officer, if he has a legitimate reason and he treats me politely, then that's one thing. But to have helicopters in the sky, to have sobriety checkpoints, you have to get to work, you have things you need to do, and unless there is a violation, you should not be stopped. And also, you should not be followed around and harassed. That's happened to me a few times where, they'll drive around, follow you around maybe 2-3 miles before they pull you over, or maybe decide not to. So, again, that's something that I think people need to take a closer look at, is how the police are treating them.
Well, I want to just stay on this issue, Andy, because I feel very much like that every time somebody we're stopped like this, we're being violated. And that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what the demeanor is. The fact is, this would not have happened, let's say, 100 years ago. So we have these. Okay, let's just go into some other areas here. You have the situation where we can be stopped and searched, basically against our will, and that's pretty much the case. What other some areas do you see? Like you mentioned what about the idea about being forced to pay for insurance? Now, see, to me, this is totally not what a government should be doing. What about the idea that I know that Ohio now is moving towards these emissions tests, which you're going to get your next one at the end of this month. How do you perceive all of these different things that a government is supposed to be protecting the lives and property of the people, now dictating down what we're going to be doing with our property and with our private property, and how we're what's your perception on all of this?
Okay, as far as the emission check program goes, which has just started this year in Ohio, I've read a number of letters to the editor in the newspaper where people's cars are being ruined by the e-check mechanics. The cars are being ruined. They're revving up the engines real fast and actually destroying people's cars. The e-check program is something they don't need to do.
Well, the thing is, though, again, it's another violation.
It's a violation.
We should not be, this government should not be, a government that's supposed to be by the people. We should not be getting subjected to all of these violations upon us.
Exactly.
By these people who are supposed to be our public servants. And I think a lot of people are not even cognizant of what's happening here. The fact is, with all you mentioned sobriety checks. This is another thing where give us an example specifically how of a sobriety checkpoint where actually people's cars are being stopped on the roadways that we're supposed to own and being searched.
Okay, fortunately it hasn't happened to me yet as far as having a sobriety checkpoint. But you look at your car and the whole situation. Mandatory seat belts, mandatory helmets for motorcycles, mandatory insurance, it goes on and on and on. Emissions checks. We have enough problems in the country already without being harassed, and we need to take care of our own selves, be responsible for ourselves, and let the government stay out of our lives as much as possible.
Right. Now, you mentioned also that, quite frankly, you said that you don't worry about a lot of them because you don't pay any attention to them anyway. You said... I hope this doesn't get you...
I'll be careful what you're going to say here.
Okay, but you did mention that quite frankly, you don't care about the seatbelt laws.
Well, I live...
And what were some of the other ones? The helmet laws, you think that's ridiculous? Yeah. In fact, here in Austin, they had a local perspective on the situation here. There's now, I think it's a $50 fine if you get caught driving a bicycle in Austin, Texas. So, here again, this is this government saying that we're here to protect you. Abide by these laws, do as we tell you, or you're going to be fined. So it's kind of like they're presenting themselves as saving ourselves from ourselves. But by the way, if you don't conform to this, you're gonna pay. There's a consequence that goes along with it. So you mentioned all of these types of things. The seatbelt law. Now you and I both know that a lot of the insurance industries have a vested interest in these types of laws, like the seat belt, the helmet laws, and as far as the inspection stickers or the emissions checks and all of that, that might go a little bit higher from my perspective. But the fact is, you've got all these different things that are raining down on us. And what's your perspective then of some of these other laws? Should the government be telling you that you have to wear a seatbelt or you're going to be fined, or you have to wear a helmet or you're going to be fined, or some of these other instances?
Well, let's take a look at the situation. The government is telling us that they're trying to look out for us and protect us with the seatbelt laws, the helmet laws, etc. But I don't think they're concerned with our protection. And most of these things tie in with the insurance industry. The government's going to help the insurance industry, and therefore the insurance industry will help the government. They're not concerned with our protection.
That's right. It's a smoke and mirrors.
Exactly.
Right. In fact, even the one particular case here in Austin where they said that they're passing this bicycle helmet law due to the fact that what was it? It was because of the insurance cost of the people that get hurt without the helmet on. See, it's not that they're concerned per se with the bicyclist. They're concerned about economic factors. So the bottom line is either you do this, you wear the helmet, or you're going to get fined. So it all most of this stuff comes down to economics and different people and places that are basically bought and paid for by different industries and corporations and all this type of thing. Wouldn't you say that's generally I mean, it's not just here; it's everywhere. Excuse me a minute here. Okay, we're being told that we look like ghosts here, folks. Okay, so we're going to take a break here and fix the audio, fix our lighting.
Keep it calling in. We got full slate right
now. All right, we look like ghosts here, so we're going to fix the light. All right, go ahead, take a break.
Wait a minute, we got a plug ready.
Okay. I thought it was going.
This is Officer Delgado of Patriot Prison. I just caught an escapee, Shorty, watching the Jeff Davis show on Channel 10. He is not going to have anything but bread and water for the next 30 days.
Well, I can't I have to watch a Jeff Davis show. I really do. It's on Monday nights on Channel 10 at 7:30. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. Let me go. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. I really do. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me go. I gotta watch a Jeff Davis show at 7:30 on Monday night.
Yes, sir. Raw time.
This is Jeff Davis.
Yeah, we're here
And
with
you're watching him right now.
Jeff Davis on the Jeff Davis show, huh?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
The
this
show's
is Jeff
so good,
Davis
you had to
show
name
for
it
the
twice.
Jeff Davis show.
Yes,
David
sir.
to Dave Pruitt.
Jeff, how are you?
Bitty's son.
Yeah, old Betty.
And you know, you ain't got nothing like old Bitty's son.
That's
Or the Jeff Davis show.
Or the Jeff
Or
Davis show.
capsize, raw time.
Capsize.
This show's going somewhere, folks.
Go
Right
into
down the
Channel
toilet.
10 every Saturday night at
It's
midnight.
Going, it's going. I mean, he even gets write-ups in what's that one in Frank that I don't read?
Yeah, it's in the fag rag.
That's it.
No, it's a twit. It's the
Twit.
TWI twit. It's a twit. Oh, girl, don't you know
Oh,
anything?
I know.
Well,
Go
I don't
on.
read it.
First, you know, then you can see my like flabby ass old mom over on Channel 10
Yeah.
Wednesday morning about 2 o'clock in the morning, man.
What's up with her? Asshole bitch.
Well, Jeff is the man on
Of
ACTV.
course, there's nothing like the
That's
Jeff
for
Davis
sure.
show.
That's
we're
right.
we're tame compared to the
That's
Jeff
breaking
Davis
new
show.
territory, people, and you're watching it live.
Live,
Jeff
baby,
Davis
live, right here on Raw Time. See that? Raw Time. See that?
Pretty on.
Good time.
Yeah, exactly. So we're up after this one.
Okay, hang up.
There's a guy in all in that band. Right. And their latest video, Mexico or Bust. I like that. I don't know if you're into that hip hop thing or not. People are out here tonight. Y'all can check them out Monday evening between 7:30 and 9 o'clock, I do believe. They'll be having all sorts of good stuff on. And definitely check them out. I've seen them live almost every week myself for quite a long time. So Jeff Davis is the man when you want to call in your access political woes, I suppose. And they're having a good Halloween time tonight, actually. You should see them. I think somebody's busted out of jail, and maybe we've gone to a fine dance, perhaps, and all sorts of goodies here. So y'all come on down and see them in person if you like. We'll be here for a little bit more. We're going to slam a couple phone calls real quick, and we got the videos, because 30 seconds. Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
I would like to make comments about the videos.
Okay.
Yes, I am from Mexico, and
Yes. This is good stuff.
Who needs a basis?
Who needs a bass?
they sang blues explosion, blues explosion, blues explosion over and over.
Baby.
It was repetitive. I do it right now.
Did you blow on it?
Blow, I got reach.
You should get someone to blow on it for you.
I'm big and fat. I can't get no one to reach back there.
Hey, we gotta go, man. That's scary.
Yeah, I know I am scary. I look in the mirror and I scare myself.
I believe it. I believe it.
10-foot hemorrhoid.
Okay, so goodbye.
Bye-bye. Wow, man. You know, it's amazing the love. Hello. You're on raw. You're on raw time.
I am from out of the country,
What's with the bad accents tonight?
and I have two-part question.
Uh-huh.
All right, I was wondering, how's your belly is getting so big?
We work really hard on that.
And do you find your penis?
Take 2 more calls and we're out of here.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing tonight?
Oh, okay.
Well, good. Listen, I was watching a lot earlier, and there was a caller that was very interesting. That lady that called in and was like,
Monday night, 7:30. Channel 16?
10.
Channel 10.
Sir.
There we are.
There you go.
Sure. Yeah, man, I don't know what I got to cut to make up the 5 minutes I lost earlier tonight. When who was it that called?
And I'm right back to watch the Jeff Davis Show on Monday night from 7:30 to 10:30. Oh, was it 10? 7:30, 10:30, my bad.
Because you're going to be watching our Charleston Cable Vision Channel 10.
Exactly.
This Monday.
This Monday.
It's Arctic Cube. Woo! We love it. Hearing the Jeff Davis Show on tour now here on 6.
We love this guy, Jeff Davis, right here. Let's love it. Hootie man. He's the man. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are going to be on.
Nice to meet you.
We're on 6th Street, Austin, Texas.
Wait a minute, y'all gonna have to...
6th Street, Austin, Texas.
Wait a minute, because I have to get like 5 seconds before. I have to get like 5 seconds of silence.
When I saw the fajita stand out here, I said, I gotta find this fella if he's here. You're on 6th Street, Austin, Texas, and you're watching the Jeff Davis Show. Live from 6th Street, Austin, Texas. That's it. Good guy right here. He's a good guy. I'll see you, Jeff. Maybe I'll give you a call.
Say, yeah, you got a comment.
No, I was saying, man, Jeff Davis is a really nice guy. I was really surprised. I was like, man, he used to scare me. He used to scare me walking through here because he's such a big guy, and he would look at me, he wouldn't say anything. Man, that guy hates me.
Are you videotaping us to send to the shadow government?
I'm scared now.
Oh, yeah, now you're getting some extra play here, guys. Some extra play.
Come on, FBI.
When is your show?
Come on.
Behind the scenes.
10:30 on Wednesdays. 10:30 p.m. every Wednesday.
And what show are you watching right now?
We're watching the Jeff Davis Show, and he's on a new time slot, by the way. Every Tuesday at 9 to 12.
Yeah,
watch Jeff Davis. The man is a radical. He's not afraid to tell you the truth. It's out there. The truth is out there. You just got to get to the bottom of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
FBI's going to kill us, but they won't get him.
That's right. Hey, we love it. Hey, that's good for Mike.
Why we go get into our first...
FBI is actually watching this show.
I know the FBI is watching this show. I'm sorry. President, FBI...
We love the government. I love the government. I rock to vote. That's what I do.
There you go. That's be part of Jeff Davis, watch his show.
Jeff Davis, man.
It is a cool show. It comes on. Now his time has changed. Tuesdays from 9 to 12. The man actually has 3 hours. So I get about 2 months to live.
Yeah, and he knows what he's talking about. So check it out, man.
The truth is out there.
The truth is out there.
All right, so let's go on to our next movie. This is Tony's movie.
Isn't that enough? Well, there was the first woman governor, Ma Ferguson, and she's down here in the Capitol. Then, of course, there was another woman named Ann Richards. Can you believe that? A nasal blonde. And perhaps we're in line for another woman governor. You can find out all about it on the AM 1300 KVET. Can't run for governor. I bet some people would like me to run for something. But anyway, you can listen to me 10 until noon weekdays on the AM 1300 KVET. Remember, the price of freedom, just ask Ma, is constant vigilance. You happen to be watching the Jeff Davis Show, and I happen to be Joyce Isaacs from KVET Radio with my new best friend in the capital of Texas. Where else would you find Texas? And it says, one of these stars belongs to you. I'll do what I must to keep it free. You know, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Or I think. But I know that the price of freedom is constant vigilance. Are you a veteran, Messenger?
I sure am. I'm a disabled veteran.
Vietnam?
Korea.
Korea, the forgotten war. And we finally got a memorial to you men, right? Yep. Okay, we thank you for it. Wave bye to Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. But you look at this, this just goes to prove that anybody can be governor of Texas. Right, Ann? No, I'm just kidding, right here on the Jeff Davis Show. Annie is a good friend of mine because she's a nasal blonde. What more can I say than for you to listen to me weekdays? How about I invite Miss Ann to come over and visit with us on the Joyce Isaacs Show, 10 to 12 on the AM KVET. K-V-E-T. Ann likes it too. Isn't she cute? I thought this was a statue of Jeff Davis, not the Jeff Davis that was in the Confederate War, you know, but the namesake, the Yankee boy namesake of Jeff Davis, who was the president of the Confederacy. But I looked up here, you know who this is? It's Sam Houston, because I'm standing in the capital of Texas. Oh, I tell you, Central Texas is so lucky to have the Jeff Davis show, keeping a free people free. Right, Jeff? It's your job, baby. Somebody's got to do it. Oh.
Your show.
My show? I'm doing my part weekdays 10 to 12 on the AM 1300. And the call letters are K-V-E-T. I'm Joyce Isaacs. We've had 6 Flags, you know. What can I say? We've taken the Jeff Davis show to great heights because we're in the rotunda of the Capitol, and it's called, the star says, it's the Republic of Texas. And you know what? Just ask Jeff. This building belongs to you. You need to come down here and visit it and remind yourself that Texas is a great place to be, and you have a say-so in what goes on, and you can air those opinions on the Jeff Davis show, or you can call me. I'm Joyce Isaacs at KVET Radio, weekdays on the AM 10 to 12. Freedom is something we take too lightly. Come down and look at your Capitol. Ask Jeff. He'll tell you how good it is. I'm Joyce Isaacs, and I'm inviting you to watch and watch and watch and watch as Jeff Davis goes on and on and on. He's on forever. I mean forever, baby, on Monday night. But he's going to bring a lot of things that you would like to see. And remember, I'm Joyce Isaacs, and I watch Jeff Davis. I'm on the AM 1300 KVET. I'd like to hear your opinions about Jeff. You know, we're lucky to have him because he's one of a kind, and he's here forever and ever and ever and ever, and one day and 2 days. He just goes on and on and on. He's like the state of Texas. It's on and on and on. What are we talking about with Mr. Bullock?
Well, we're trying to get more services to keep people from having to go into nursing homes.
Right, to keep people mainstream and keep them living and keep them productive. Remember, you can listen to me weekdays. I'm Joyce Isaacs from KVET Radio, 1300 on the AM. And you can see Jeff Davis all of Monday night. He just goes on and on and on and on and on. I've never seen anything like it before. No, he hasn't either, okay? Okay.
Here, why don't you just look
DVDs right up here. We'll sell all of it.
Oh, Lord. Now I'm not going to be able to show this.
You know what?
Hawaii meets Mexico City.
I can't show that.
But you can show this. This is
Yeah.
no bull.
I got some.
No bull. You need to be listening to my show weekdays, right on KVET AM. It's no bull. I tell you, just don't ask, okay? You go out with some guys, and you have a little margarita, and you have a little lunch, and the next thing you know, here you are. I can't even explain it to you. But then I can't explain Jeff Davis' show either, and he's on forever and ever. You think these are longhorns? You ought to see he's a long cough is what he is. Remember, it's all here. You can call me weekdays, 390-5483. I've got more bull than this on the radio. Okay? I love you.
Well, honey, do you boys get tired riding around in the back of this truck?
And he won't show it on TV,
Look,
promises.
okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
it's on.
played that game before.
He says he won't use the tape.
Well, you get over there and put your hand on that one.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
drop down just a little bit more. There you go.
Listen, give these girls a hand, okay? You can't see them on the Jeff Davis show, but you need to give these ladies a hand. And this man over here, he had these pictures in the truck. He's trying to sell them down at the mayor's office somewhere. And then he's got these bulls in the back. I tell you, you know, this is an interesting city. And you thought the Joyce Isaacs show was strange, and you thought Jeff Davis was strange. Just get out in the street a while. You want to see some strange stuff. Keep it covered, okay? We got you covered on KVET Radio, AM 1300. I'm Joyce Isaacs, weekdays. Hi, I'm Joyce Isaacs from KVET Radio, and you know you can hear me weekdays on the AM 1300. You can call me at 390-5483, and I'm standing here in the middle of Austin, Texas with Big Daddy-O. What you got, honey?
Oh, it's a little old book we did a while back called Daddy-O, Iguana Heads and Texas Tales. Here I am when I was young and cute, standing on top of this old iguana. Remember that was
Did
the
you
lone...
like that iguana?
Made it in 78. It was on top
Don't
of...
sit. Don't sit on it.
Don't sit on
Okay,
it. It got
don't
those
sit on it.
fins. Remember this was on top of the Lone Star Cafe in New York City.
At New York City, I remember that. Even I've been at New York City before and had a big cover charge to pay for that.
And Kinky
thing.
Freeman come up there and sing a few songs.
I'm at the Lone. What is this, Daddy-O?
This is some more outstanding imagery from the city of Waco, Texas.
Oh, how fitting that would be right here on the Jeff Davis show. You can see it all. I especially like these attractive trees. You can go anywhere and no one will ever know it's you, will they?
No, I think he was reworking the color scheme. This piece is called Colorblind in Waco.
Well, that's a first, isn't it? Colorblind in Waco.
That's right. Nobody's going to see him. He's all decked out. He's got his gun, his camouflage material. But see, a lot of people are red-green colorblind. He must have been one of them.
Well, you know, if you're going to be something, I prefer red, white, and blue.
I understand. Now, we have Waco stories in here, too. We've got stories about building the big cowboy boots in San Antonio.
Yeah, you built those big boots.
Down there at North Star Mall. We got stories about Kinky Freeman, Roy Rogers, Dennis Hopper. That's all in here.
Now, but I'm telling you, do you have the Jeff Davis show in there yet?
No, should I put an addendum?
Yes. And you need, because you need to see the Jeff Davis show, and it'll be a long addendum, because the show goes on and on and on and on. It's the longest thing in the world. The longest thing about Jeff, as a matter of fact, is his show, from what I hear tell. Gotcha, Jeff, gotcha, didn't I? Anyway, Jeff always says this is a good piece. After he sees a good piece of tape, he always says that. I thought maybe, but anyway, you built those big cowboy boots, didn't you?
Cowboy boots down there, and then we got this, this fish head thing. It's coming up out of the water here at Chewy's Hula Hut. That's my deal. You put 4 quarters in there, it moves around, blows smoke, and all that kind of stuff.
Boy, I tell
we act
are
silly
you
all over.
sober?
Well, unfortunately, yes.
Okay, and you're a grown man, and you get out and do stuff.
Well, I've been growing ever since I came here in 1961 to UT, I guess. I don't know, Schultz's Beer Garden.
Aren't you afraid somebody's going to steal those 2 bulls
They're pretty heavy. It took a couple of us to lift those in there. I got to return them back down to San Antonio. They're trying to sell. Look, there's a guy out there looking at them right now. He's excited too.
But he probably wants the whole. You can get the whole deal with Jeff Davis. You know, you get the head and you get the whole thing, and you get it forever and ever and ever. Because Jeff Davis is right here talking about keeping us free, as a matter of fact. And remember, the price of freedom is constant vigilance. And I'll tell you about it weekdays. I'm Joyce Isaacs from the AM 1300 KVET.
About it. Like Ghost, well, I always like Casper anyway, so if we still look like Ghost, then that's just the way it's going to be for a while, I suppose. What do you say, Andy?
I always like Casper.
Okay, now we've had, we had a caller on the air that's ready to rock. Okay, caller, you're on the air. Look, can we bring up a caller real quick here? All right, you're on the air, caller. Hello? Hey, I'd rather look like a ghost than look like a shadow man. Okay. We're ready to take calls now. You're on the air, caller. Hello? Hello? You're on the air, my friend.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, so your guest is just talking about how there's more and more, little nitpicky laws, more and more just to help out the multinational corporations.
Well, is this Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just go through them briefly. Just then you can respond. I know how you go, so let me go through them. You got people being stopped in the streets, have their cars searched. You got to have insurance. It's emissions checks in Ohio now. Inspection stickers, insurance. What is license? Driver's license, state license. All of the he's talking about what was it? Get on with it now. Before this is Alex. This is him. So he'll go and go.
His show.
Okay, so you've got the helicopter scanning you from afar.
Sobriety checkpoints.
Sobriety check.
Your fingers now whenever you get your damn driver's license.
But the fact is, a lot of folks, they ain't recognizing it. See, they just this kind of.
They think it's reasonable to go in and get their thumb scanned like a criminal when they get a driver's license. I don't think that's reasonable.
Well, come on with it. Come on with it now.
Well, I mean, listen, folks. I think that's all really important because, that's, everybody knows that the new form of tyranny is here, I'm putting this on mute.
Yeah, come on with it. Come on, let's get you on a roll now, Alex.
I'll go. Listen. The new form of tyranny, folks, and this is what Jeff's always talking about, is regulation. And I don't mean regulations that are, that makes...
Hello?
To tie us up, make us busy, so we're so busy complying all the time that we can't take the time to find out that our government's turned totally crooked. But even though this is happening, stuff's starting to leak out about the CIA, the FBI. People are starting to find out that our government has turned into a criminal government. And I'm not talking about, some guy down the street, who works for the government. I'm talking about the people that control the government. And something that you've also talked about in the past that is one of the most scary things is the Second Amendment. I was watching a movie the other night, and even in Hollywood movies now, they'll find any time they can to knock gun owners and to knock guns. But at the same time, they'll have wholesale carnage and murder with guns. And folks, we need to understand that inanimate objects aren't the problem; it's the person with the gun. They don't blame a car for a drunk driver, do they? No, they blame the drunk driver. It's the same thing. You blame the criminal. You blame the person. So don't let them take all our rights away in the name of safety or in the name of just what's right. And we just understand that the media has a public relations campaign going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's unending, and that's why, sure, our shows, aren't anything compared to some network bull, but you ought to be thankful that there's people that are willing to get out there and try to show you some information. And we may not be right 100% of the time, but I'll guarantee you this: we're a lot more right than the media who's been caught blowing up pickup trucks trying to say that they were dangerous. Everybody remembers that when they blew up that Chevrolet pickup, and then when it finally came out, they said, "Oh, we're sorry." The media does nothing to practice lies and deceit, and they're very crafty at it, folks. Now the new thing is they're telling us that the deficit isn't the problem. That's because the big banks are trying to get scared. Old people might wake up and make us cut government. So now they're telling us that, oh, the deficit's been cut. Deficit hasn't been cut. In the last 4 years, it's gone up $1.5 trillion almost. So, I mean, I call that exploding, folks. It's the fastest it's ever grown. So don't listen to their crap, folks. They are trying to destroy this country from within. And just look at what Clinton did. He vetoed missile defense. That's peaceful missiles. Those are not nuclear missiles. Those are peaceful to stop rogue nations from firing missiles at us. But you know what? Russia's got that system. And guess who just sold the technology? An American company about 5 years ago. So that's what's going on, folks. We're allowing everybody else to arm. Clinton just sold cruise missile technology. Not actual cruise missiles. He did something worse. He sold cruise missiles and he sold the factories, the supercomputers. He let McDonnell Douglas, who I consider to be traitors now, sell China, which will in turn give it to Iran. China right now has over 40,000 military and technological advisors in Iran. They're arming them for a major war in the next 10 years.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, quickly, Alex. When's your show?
It's on Wednesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Channel 10, and the Jeff Davis Show. Well, y'all know when that's on. It's on for 3 hours from 7:30 to 10:30 on Channel 10 too.
Here we have a quick announcement.
Alex, you check your mailbox over here at ACTV. We got something for you to plug for next
week.
week.
I'll do it. I'll put it on there.
Got you a news release in your mailbox. Don't forget.
Well, listen.
Called you at your house and you didn't respond. Here he is.
I didn't get your message.
All right, my friends.
Well, listen.
Alex,
you're doing a good job, and that suit looks pretty good.
Thanks.
And I've been plugging your show on there, and a lot of people called up asking about the stuff that you discussed. So there must be a lot of people watching your show, because about a third of the calls I get are talking about the Jeff Davis Show. So that's that's.
I guess that's okay, huh?
Yeah, and I've been plugging Starboard Side too. They don't really delve into too much, but they're for cutting government, and that's the key. People who say that we can't stop this BS, if you take away the taxes, at least cut them by 80%, is what I think, then you won't be feeding the monster, and the monster will go off and, get in the corner and die. But we can't just be apathetic and say, let's let this big government monster, which, governments have always been deadly all through history. If we let this big government monster keep growing, folks, we can't be apathetic. We can't say, oh, just forget it, just live your life, the government's okay. Folks, look at it. It keeps growing at a geometric rate. It's not stopping. It wants our civil liberties. It wants everything from free speech to the Second Amendment on to the 10th Amendment. They want to give all power to the federal government and tell you what to do. They're scanning your thumbs when you get a driver's license. They're starting to mark us like cattle. And folks, over in Europe, in Sweden and Switzerland, the same place 10, 15 years ago where they started scanning thumbs, for your fingerprints when they got driver's license, now they are placing in children, and it's voluntary right now, computer chips, just like you can go down to the vet and get one for your dog. Well, they're doing it to people. And so they're going to export that here in the next 10 years, I would estimate, since that technology moved here in the last 10 to 15 years from Europe. And it's so funny that Switzerland and all those places, that's where the international cartels are based. That's where the CFR is based. That's where the Council of Foreign Relations is based. That's where all this emanates like a spider web. And people who tell you it's crap, they're just the little fool dupes that don't want to believe. So just keep tuning into these top programs. And if you want now, you can turn on any other news channel, and you'll hear about the CIA and drug runners. It has been proven. But you'll still say, well, I'm not sure. This might not be real.
Hey, do we look like ghosts?
No, earlier it was real dark. I usually watch your program, but
we're looking like ghosts. See, I always like Casper anyway, so.
No, it actually looks pretty good, man. Earlier y'all were a little bit too dark, but now it looks like you changed something, or you got a different camera angle.
Yeah, we've been manipulating with it.
But listen, guys, you're doing a fantastic job. And listen, people who hear me all jabbering, you might think, who is this crazy telling me this bull? Folks, I am an excited person. It takes somebody like me or like Jeff or like James Crafty or whoever to get out there and to go forward and try to tell you some stuff. And all I'm trying to tell you is I've studied history, I've studied world history, and it's like a lot of great minds have said, history's a roadmap to the future because people tend to do the same type of stuff. But now the elites have got computers and all this other BS that they can really use against us. And I'm pro-computer if it's for us, the people. But
satellites.
all I'm saying is whatever the media tells you, distrust it. I'm not saying don't believe it. Just distrust it.
Well, obviously, this is an anti-media man we're talking to.
Well,
I take it you have a love relationship with the media, huh?
Jeff, I really love them. Well, listen, I happen to know a lot of people. I'm not going to name names, but I know people who are major publishers. I know people that. Well, let's put it this way. I know some top media people. That's why I've been able to get into presidential debates, real quick and take photographs and other things. Like on the stage. I've done quite a bit of stuff because I know a lot of media people, and they'll even tell you that, and it's like there's this elite behavior that they all engage in. In fact, we've all heard about it. And all I'm saying is, the reason I target the media is because people are believing the garbage that's being handed to them, and the media is the mouthpiece, is the pen and ink of the elite. And I have nothing against power centers.
I will say this as well. It's not to me. It's not so much what they're covering, although it does have normally a pro-government view. Normally, it does.
Normally a big government view.
Right, but the biggest problem is, I think, is that it's what they're not telling us.
Exactly. Well, see,
the stuff that you can't get it for one reason or another, you can't seem to get any.
Well, Jeff, you've hit the nail right on the head. I mean, a lot of times they'll report the story just because it's already leaked out and everybody's already talking about it. So it's kind of like, well, we better report on it,
and then it'll be kind of smoothed over.
Oh, it'll be absolutely watered down.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, we're not sure what's really going on, and and so they're not alerting it to us.
So you're obvious.
Well, it's true. I mean,
hey, wait, we're just having fun here.
No, it's funny. No, I mean, you're right.
Hey, it's better to laugh than cry. Yeah, I mean,
sure, that's why I always make fun of them because I mean, I see these politicians from both parties.
But you know what? Let me tell you something, brother. These folks, I think most of them, their minds are just locked like the general public. And
Yeah,
it's not like they're saying, "Oh, we got to protect the Fed."
Oh,
you know, just because because they're being told we got to do this, we got to do this. My personal opinion is they're just basically duped like a lot of the general public, and they're expendable, and basically they're nothing more than pawns in the game.
You know, one of the
so I basically have lightened up on them because whatever rains down on us is going to rain down on them too.
Well,
so they might
right.
not.
And
so
I mean,
you understand my point?
Sure. I mean that's totally solid.
So they just don't know it.
Well, it's like they choose not to know it, and they choose to feel like, well, they've been taught all through college that anybody that talks about the Fed is a goofball. That
Oh, you believe that they've said? Do you believe that they actually told that, huh?
Well,
you believe that, huh?
Well, no.
Can you verify that?
Listen, what I'm saying is,
I've had some of them tell me that. Sure, Jeff, you put a nice little expose about the Fed on. We'll slap it up there for you. We'll put it on our editorial page. I've actually had them tell me that.
But they didn't, did they?
Well, I didn't give them one.
Well, listen to this, Jeff, before I go. What I'm saying is this. I know one of the deputy editors of Time Magazine, comes out to friends of mine. I've known him for about 10 years, even before he did that. I'm not going to say any names. And I've sat there and this is the mindset. He's a smart guy. I mean, smart to a certain extent, but it's like they've been trained in this ever since college because they were taught, you're smart, you're, whatever, we understand, blah, blah, blah. It's very subtle. I mean, it's more almost like a religion type thing because you say stuff like, well, I'm tired of key rich elite screwing it to us. I'm tired of having a high tax bracket. I'm tired of training the general public that taxes are okay. And what was his answer to taxes? Or to my quote that I was mad at rich elites. He said, well, then why aren't you for higher taxes? And I just had to laugh at him. I said, what do you mean? The elites, they control the government. They want high taxes because they've got their money offshore. They've got ways of avoiding the major taxes. And so they take our taxes into the government, run deficits, and then they get paid interest. They control the programs. And so, boom, I had, totally proven it there. And he was like, well, I do see your point because that's just cause and effect, supply and demand. It's right there in front of him. And then I went on to the other stuff. I said, what do you think about the Federal Reserve? And he said, well, I think it's done a pretty good job. And I think, oh, you think it's a good job that the lending rate is controlled by a private group that people think is perfect?
Well, see, that just proves my point then. I think a lot of them are just ignorant.
That's what I'm saying. But
in fact, a lot of them probably, just like the general public, they don't even know what it means. They don't even know what that is.
Well, yes, but I mean, the most powerful person in America who is sitting in a position that is public in the government is Alan Greenspan.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got unbelievable power, but I guarantee he's got strings that just stretch right on to David Rockefeller and all those degenerates.
Yes, sir.
Philip and all the rest
but
of
that
them.
doesn't mean that the people in the media... See, I have to admit, I've lightened up on them because I think that they're expendable and they're going to, like I said, whatever rains down on us, Alex, it's going to rain down. It's going to rain down on them.
Well, yes, but we still have to. But it doesn't matter. The garbage is. I mean, the media is the mouthpiece, and so if the garbage is coming out of that, I'm not attacking the person who works.
Yeah, but it's a system of ignorance. rather than.
I understand that, but all I'm trying to say to the public is do not trust the media. Don't listen to.
Well, I agree that there's a lot of, mainly because of the lot of things that they don't, for one reason or another, do not tell you about.
Well, there's big money in handing us a bunch of garbage.
I do agree with that.
But the key is,
in fact, we don't even, Andy and I, we don't even very seldom, at least I don't even very seldom even watch it.
Well, listen, I'll let y'all get back, and this is a good show. I'll keep watching.
Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. What's your show again?
It is Wednesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Channel 10. Alex Jones, Exposing Mass Media. And again, the key to freedom is cutting back on regulations. The key to freedom is slashing taxes. And folks, it's going to be hard cutting government. They've gotten a lot of us addicted to it. They've gotten a lot of us on the tit. But listen, it's going to be a lot worse if we keep down this path towards socialism. Because you think back to what happened in Russia. Think what happened in China, all over the world. A lot of people starve, a lot of people get shot, a lot of people get hung when the government gets a certain size. It is a fact. It never's different. If government takes over, people die. That's in the history books.
Well, let me just mention something. In the last 220 years, 190 million people have died due to some type of government's action across the
This is in Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
It is in many
wars,
places.
Abortions, diseases, the different things that the, well, of course, you know, you and I both know, Alex, that the financiers are in charge of the governments through their central banks.
You're absolutely right.
But
well, before I go, there's just one more thing I wanted to get out.
Go ahead.
Because when you talked about the wars and the abortions and all that type of stuff, you're absolutely right. But that's just a little side plate on their menu. What scares me is that you were on the money with your numbers. It is well known that communists worldwide, conservatively estimated in the last 100 years, have killed 120 million people. That's almost 3 times what Hitler killed. But why?
Are you familiar with the Inquisition of the Catholic Church?
Oh gosh, well listen.
Don't think an organized religion don't have a part in all
I say that all the time.
The one thing I was handed a little piece of information here that I want to just mention.
Go ahead.
I guess this was on C-SPAN or something, or. Okay, it said Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin, of course, attended the last Bilderberg meeting.
He replaced the late Commerce Secretary Ron Brown, who had that last.
No, not Commerce. This was Treasury Department. The Treasury Department. Rob Rubin. I think he replaced Benson or one of them. But the fact is, he addressed the Bretton Woods Committee, telling them that, and I actually saw this, so it's a good quote, telling them that a growing opposition to central bank institutions and the Federal Reserve is emerging. And it is to their peril, meaning he was saying "are," but meaning to their. It is to their peril that we ignore this growing opposition. So, in other words, they're conditioning. They're basically staying amongst their little selves. Of course, this was a public. This was a thing that was covered on C-SPAN. So it wasn't the real. It wasn't the real powers. Yeah. But the fact is, they're at least on the surface acknowledging that. We don't want to be stolen from to contribute to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund.
Exactly. We're starting to cause a problem. We're starting to be a little bit troublesome. What I've noticed about that is that...
and they called for... Yeah, I do remember that. Robert Rubin called for them and the viewers to write their congressmen and please tell their congressmen that, yes, we want to be stolen from more so we can... contribute more to the World Bank.
People don't. That's the scary part. And
that's about what he said, isn't it? Yeah, but he was also, since it was on C-SPAN, though, it was to the viewers.
But folks, what's so scary about this?
So he was calling out to them. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is all just theory, though, Alex.
People like to, yes, exactly. People like to say over and over that we're just stupid to worry about this, that this is crap. Folks, the biggest industry in the world now is not just banking, but it's just financing our debt. Just this year, bigger than auto sales, bigger than computer sales, bigger than defense, bigger than entitlements, not those combined, but by themselves, is going to be financing our debt. $360 billion on our $5.2 trillion debt.
Of course, who's that going to now? Now, what's wrong with that now? We have to pay for roads.
But that's not going to roads. That's going straight. That's going straight.
I'm just playing with you.
No, I understand. That's going straight to private banks. That's going straight into the hands of private banks. That's going straight to the hands of private financier groups based in Europe, based in Japan, based in New York.
But there's nothing wrong with that. We have to have all these things.
I know, exactly. Well, listen, I'll shut up after I
that's...
Here is the key, folks, and I was sitting around just the other night with some so-called pseudo-intellectuals that were over at a party, and these were YouTube professors and people, and the chic thing to talk about, and it'll always be chic because this is what they're obsessed with, because this is what the elite hands down to them through grants to professors that they like at Berkeley and, you know, all over, you know, where this pseudo-science crap comes out. They were talking about population control and how it's the biggest threat to the future. And that's true. Population threat is the biggest threat towards the elite, and it is a threat towards the environment. But I want to just give out some quick facts, and then I will be done. At the turn of the century in this country, theoreticians and fact people said that our population couldn't increase in this country, and we weren't industrialized yet. We were industrializing. We were developing. They said that we couldn't get any bigger because there was too many horses and there was too much horse manure in the cities for anything to grow anymore. Well, we got combustion engines, folks. No more need for all these horses. Then we had a problem with smog. We got catalytic converters. Now all this stuff's been cut by over 95%, and a lot of cities are over 2/3 cleaner. Even LA is. So, folks, humans grow, we learn, we move, and they're so scared about population growth. It's true. The world population increases by 100 million each year. But here's the fact. In America, we only have a 2.5% population growth, and that is very low, and that's healthy. In Germany, they have a negative population growth. In France, they have a...
Hey, Alex, I got to interrupt you. I'm getting all kinds of...
Well, all right, well, Jeff, here's the last thing.
All right, go ahead.
So listen, here's the fact. Anytime some professor or somebody tries to sell you on this people out there, it is an attack on human freedom and the right to have children and the right to live. And believe me, this is going to be the move of the future. They're going to blame every problem on population. All we need is for these third world countries to develop. These third world countries, as soon as they develop like we did, they will get a stagnant population growth. 2 parents on average will have 2
one
kids.
quick one. Are you aware of the new bill that Clinton just signed about the buying up more national parks and all of that?
Exactly. They're starting to more and more. I saw him.
Of course, it's in our best interests here again. See,
of course
they're gonna steal from us and buy.
Good land has to be guarded, folks. That's going to be their line.
For them.
So listen, folks. Just remember this: when Mount St. Helens blew up, all the scientists. No, listen.
The deuce is going to blow up, and we don't know.
Hey, we're having a good time down here, Alex.
I understand. But
down here looking like Casper and everything.
Well, listen, folks, I can refute all their BS. Every time you sit there and you see some liberal professor or somebody spouting about how fragile the earth is, I am against dumping of toxic chemicals. But these same corporations that have got our house cleaned, now they're just dumping it in Mexico. But here's what I wanted to say. When Mount St. Helens erupted, all the top... Listen, folks.
Go on, go on with it.
All right. When Mount St. Helens...
Come on. We got a studio audience down here,
I understand, folks, but this is deadly important.
Okay, go on with it.
When Mount St. Helens erupted, all the top moron scientists who love to act like it's gloom and doom because the elite wants to get this panic going, just like Hitler had the Jews as a tar baby so he could send his country into evil. They need a tar baby, and they're going to use the environment and racial upsurge and gender gaps and class envy. When Mount St. Helens erupted, folks, the top scientists, all the idiots, said it would be a dead zone for 100 to 200 years at least. Go look at it now. It's on all the channels. It is one of the most lush places in the world. Life has just sprung forward. This planet was born out of fire and lava and destruction. Life is very vibrant and very incredible. Just because we see that a lot of the top orders of life, like whales and things being hurt, which a lot of them have come back to record levels, the bald eagle isn't even threatened anymore, folks. Okay, so just understand this, folks. Do not believe their crap. This is serious. We're in an end game here because dictatorships, totalitarian groups love to kill. That's their favorite thing. They've got a bloodlust for it. Read history. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thank you, my friend. All right. Okay, we got a full slate of callers. Let's bring them on to the air. We're talking about a little bit about everything here now. Okay, you're on air.
Hello, Joe.
How you doing?
How you doing, guy? You like you're doing pretty good tonight.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're looking like ghosts down here, I've been told.
I don't know if you know. I know you're against the government. I wish I could cut you off and take you back. I don't know if you went to a vampire or not, you know.
Hey, I always like Casper, so hey. I say we go down, we look like ghosts down here. That's what I say. Is this...
What you want to do? You have to deal about all the sacred out law. Well, Mark's kind of faded out back there a little bit, ain't it?
Well, what we was talking about, this is a friend of mine from Ohio, and we just got talking last night. We were wondering what we were going to talk about today, and it came up that we're sick and tired of being violated. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you get, this means being audited, having a state trooper, or we're getting a lot of feedback. You have to turn that down just a little bit, I think. Okay. Well, I still say we got the best crew on ACTV.
Oh, you got the best down there. I ain't a doubt in my mind.
But we were talking about being stopped, having your car searched. You have to, go out and get your inspections. You have to get show them proof of insurance. All of these different things. These people are supposed to be our public servants. That is not our public servants when they are violating us in this manner. Would you agree, Andy?
Exactly. What I want to basically say to the public is, when the government they say they're doing something good for you, or they seem to be doing something good for you, turn it around and say, look, what's in it for them? They're not interested in our best interest. Just about everything they do is to serve
somebody else, or somebody else's, the money interest, or something like this.
One reason why I called was about this time last year, it was a little later because of Christmas, I went down and picked up a couple of day laborers down at that day labor corner y'all have downtown. Actually I called up a couple of the temporary services, and it was close to Christmas, and they said, well, we can't, the best choice in this Christmas year is go down and just pick you up the day laborers down at the day labor deal. When you pull over, they all hop on your truck, you know what I'm saying? But when you pull up there, everyone was
That's good right there.
job where they wouldn't be out there. You know what I'm saying? They have families and all them take care of the stuff. So the officers, they jumped on my vehicle, and I had to stop and tell them I couldn't take all those guys. I had much work for these guys that jumped on my truck. So the officer gave me a ticket for it and everything down there. So what was so crazy about it was I tried to fight it in court and everything. I turned up losing it. It cost me several $100s over it and everything. But I thought it was pretty big for when we deny the people in town the most, a hand to try to lift them up and give them a job. I thought that was pretty, cruddy of not only our city, but of our state to let them get away with something like this. Because what it tells me is basically that once you are down, they want to keep you down, and the best way they control you when you're down. When you're up, you can't control someone that has money because you can fight them too. So when they have you down, they control you, and they feel that they are overpowering. That's the whole issue of what they're doing.
I agree.
Well, I just want to tell you that I thought it was kind of a pretty cruddy deal when they did that to me. It wasn't only me, it was several other people here in Austin they did it too. I mean, it wasn't like we were using them for a business.
The point that we're trying to make here, I think, is that in many areas, contrary to maybe 100 years ago, we're being completely violated. And quite frankly, the American people 100 years ago wouldn't put up with a lot of the shenanigans that Americans are putting up with today. And a lot of people I'm afraid, are not even are cognizant of it. So what we're trying to do with this particular program is show that, hey, folks, we're being violated on a lot of different issues by these people who supposedly are supposed to be working for us.
That's right, they are.
I've already mentioned them.
Themselves.
Okay. Okay, next, we got another one?
Later.
Appreciate your call, brother. Okay. Okay, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Jeff. How are you this evening? Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Sounds like we're having a little trouble.
Hello, you're on the air.
Sounds like we're having a little trouble. Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Well, good. Being somebody that was smart enough to leave Ohio, where is your friend from in that state?
I'm from the Kent, Ohio area.
From where, please?
Kent, Ohio, near Akron, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. I used to live over in Alliance, but right there in the middle of the Rust Belt with you.
Alliance, yeah, right near Ravenna.
Well, we're picking up a little bit in Ohio. We're getting some new industries in. We're going into different kind of industries, so we're picking up pretty well.
Well, lots of luck. That's all I can say. Move to Texas. It's a little better, at least.
We're actually trying to get him to move this. He'd be a good good partner for our little network we got down here.
By the way, was this the Jeff Davis or the Alex show tonight?
It's really right now it's a technical problem show, but we still have the best show on ACTV.
Okay, well, let me get into what I started to call you for to start with.
Go ahead.
I am involved in immigration control, and was in contact with a young lady, Barbara Coe, who's the head of the California Coalition for Immigration Control recently.
What's your first name?
Her first name?
No, yours.
Dave.
Okay.
And she had the audacity to write in her newspaper out there that's distributed to her membership that she would like to have them go out near the polling places and indicate that it was legal for only American citizens to vote, or it was illegal for non-American citizens to vote. Now, because she was foolish enough to do something like that, she's had the Justice Department grill her for an extensive period of time and threatened her with jail. MelDef threatened her with lawsuits. The voter registrar for the area out there in Los Angeles was about to haul her in. The Secretary of State for the state of California contacted her and was going to have her hauled in, all because they were going to march at 110 feet, which is 10 feet beyond the limit, with placards that says only American citizens can vote. Now, this is the other side of the coin that you were talking about. They'll stop you and want to shake you down for everything in the world, whether they have cause or not.
Yes.
And yet, if you're foolish enough to try utilizing the First Amendment for the purposes it was intended for, you're virtually asking for a lawsuit.
I agree. Or actually, in my particular situation, if I don't know if this is the same line, but if you're stopped, and you even at least in my situation that I just had here, if you even insinuate that hey you're being violated, this fella he all but said, well, if you don't like it, or he basically told me that I don't have the right to say that I believe I'm being violated. So it was even getting severe just at the very beginning of our communication.
Well, I think that it takes a very special individual to be a good gendarme as far as that's concerned, and I think the Austin police at least try. Some of them are SFBs, some of them are good people.
But my contention, though, Dave, is that they should not have the right to do that.
No,
I'm not talking about I'm talking about just this country as a whole. We should not be allowing our people who are our public servants to stop us, pull us over, demand that they see papers and check and search our trunks and whatever they we should not. That's a Violation of our rights. Any way you look at it, doesn't matter if it's a good fella doing it or a bad fella. It's still a violation, and many people, unfortunately, are not even cognizant of it, that they're being violated.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I also have an interesting item here that I'll send you a copy if you'd like.
Go ahead and put our P.O. box. Put the address up. Go ahead.
It was the game plan for the Communist Party, which was read into the congressional record in January 10th of 1963, which is well before the collapse of the communist country. Provide American aid to all nations, regardless of communist denominations. Grant recognition to China. Admission to Red China to the UN. It goes on for about 45 different items here, every one of which we are accomplishing right now.
Yes, and I've already studied the Communist Manifesto. You know, you've studied the 10 planks of it.
Yes.
The central bank, the graduated income tax, the public education, inheritance tax, all of which, virtually all of them have been implemented as of today.
Yes, and that's exactly what this communist plan for the next 10 years, starting in '63, was, and we've hit virtually every one of them.
I'll tell you what. Can you send us a copy of it?
Yes, I will.
I will go ahead, and we will go ahead and.
Can I tell Dave something?
Go ahead. We got another fellow here that wants to say something.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Tomorrow on the Joyce Isaac Show at 10 o'clock,
Yes.
1300 a.m., she's going to have Jerry Lynn Ball which is DV Kid's friend, that wrote a book called Tyranny, Taxation, and Treason. And be sure to watch that, everybody. Listen to it. Listen to it.
Yeah, I'll be glad to watch Joyce on the radio there, and I'll listen to her also. Joyce is an old friend.
All righty, Dave.
I know he knows her. That he called.
Yeah, send us a copy of that, would you?
Yes, I will. Put your address back up. I can't talk and write
one more
at the
time.
same time.
The P.O. box. We'll get it up here in a minute.
Incidentally, while he's fumbling around with that, thank you very much for the information that he sent to me concerning the takeover of all of our parks by the United Nations.
Oh yeah, that's very well documented. That's no theory. In fact, there's quite a few members of the House that are complaining about that right now, at least on the surface.
Well, yes, and that's what I'm afraid of. It's only surface.
Yeah, it's only surface, but at least they're at least acknowledging that there's something severely wrong with these parks that we supposedly own and are supposedly paid for, are being turned over to an international institution.
It's interesting to note that if you dig out the book that your gentleman the other night was touting, Who's Who in the Elite?
Galen Ross.
Yes, Galen Ross.
Yes,
If you reference his book, which I think is excellent, and I would advise everybody to buy, take a look at those people that are doing the griping. There are also people that are all listed in there.
Right, I'm aware of that, Dave. I've seen the manipulation on both sides for a long time. But there are a few of them that are griping that maybe are sincere. Maybe. At least I want to hope that they are.
Well, it would be.
But
nice.
as far as I for one have given up all faith in the Washington District of Criminals. I just don't think that we're never going to break away from our shackles by any actions of those people that are bought and paid for up there.
Well, and I don't know of any, or very few of them, that aren't bought and paid for too. And I'm wondering if that purchase isn't extended considerably further down than just the Beltway in Washington.
I agree. Anything else, Dave? Did you get our address?
No, I've got it.
Okay. Appreciate your call, brother.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and take another one. Wait a minute. Before we go, do you have any comments on any of that, Andy?
Yes, I wanted to comment on the proposition they had in California recently. I spent the last month in California, and they passed 209, which I campaigned for, to end affirmative action in California. And a while back, they had something on immigration, and they had a situation before the anti-immigration thing passed. They had a situation out there where illegal immigrants would get free health care and free schooling, both in school and also some in college, and California was suffering through a recession at the time. So again, you're getting illegal aliens coming in here and getting full benefits, where we have a situation in this country where we have a large percentage of people who do not have any health care.
But the fact is, in my opinion, they're both wrong. No way should a big brother government be providing health insurance for anybody, or providing for people's retirements or anything else.
But certainly not illegal aliens.
Okay, you're on the air, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Fine, and you?
Fine, Jeff. My name is Leland. We've talked before in the past a few times.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to relate a little incident that happened here in my home this week. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon several days ago. Well, let me prefix this by saying I'm a local South Austin homeowner and a local businessman. Never been in any trouble with the law. I am an avid gun collector, and I make the gun shows and what's going on and aware of the Patriot movement. Okay? Several days ago, I was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon watching TV back in the back room of my house, and I heard a loud thumping noise, somebody slamming against the side of my house, and it didn't sound like this. It was too violent to be a door knock, and I got up to go answer the front door, and walking down the hall, and 2 policemen ran into my house. Said, what, and I met them in the hallway, and they're saying, what's going on here? What's the problem here? I said, well, what are you doing in my home? Why are you here? And they said, well, we have a 911 call from here. And I said, no, sir, you didn't. I didn't call 911. I'm the only person here, and I know there hasn't been a call. Well, we're going to have to search your house to make sure everything's all right here. So they proceeded to search my house, went through all the rooms, looked in the closet, found my gun collection, took all my guns out, examined them, checked the numbers. Then there were several AK-47s and a lot of ammunition. They wanted to know why I had those kind of weapons. I said those are perfectly legal, semi-automatic. Actually, they were MAK-90s, you know, the semi-automatic legal version of the. They talked about confiscating them. They wound up not taking them. They left them with me, but they just after looking around, I said, "Why? If you're here on a 911 call and you think," I asked them why they had to search the house, and they said, "Well, perhaps you've hidden somebody. You've got somebody unconscious or holding them hostage, and they're in a closet or something. We have to make sure." And I said, "Well, now that you've found there's no one here, why are you looking through my guns?" And they said, "Well, they might be illegal. We just want to check them out." So they left, and I was very disconcerted and upset about this. I didn't know quite what to do, so I called Internal Affairs and filed a complaint. And the response there was, "Well, sir, you know, it was probably a glitch in the computer system, and they got a call from 911, perhaps a hang-up or something, so they felt they had to come out and investigate." And I asked around. I have a few friends on the police department, and I told them about this, and they said, "Man, that is a standard tactic. They want to get in your house and look around. They just say that they've received a 911 call, and that gives them the right to go in and search."
Is there any reason why that they might? I mean,
no, actually, no, sir, no. Not
but again, if everything you're saying there's truth, see, in my opinion, you were violated.
Oh, I feel like I was really violated. It's really, and I think they're using this technique to go into people's houses. Several years ago, my house was robbed, and I called the police and turned in a police report and gave them all the particulars and gave them a list of a large gun collection that was stolen. And at that time, they questioned me why I had such an extensive gun collection, and I told them, well, you know, it's perfectly legal. I'm an American citizen. I like guns. I shoot. I hunt. I target practice. I like guns. Nothing wrong with that. And I think that I think maybe I'm paranoid, but I think they were just running in here searching, wanting to know what kind of weapons I had. I mean, that's, I don't know.
Well, the reason why we're talking about this, Leland, is, you know, because I think a lot of people are not even thinking that quite frankly, if you are on a road and you are stopped, and you're asked to give this, that, and the other, and they check your trunk or whatever, you're being violated.
Oh yeah.
There's no question about it. I mean, you can sit there and rationalize, yeah, but you might have been driving drunk, or they might have thought that you were driving drunk, or whatever rationale is behind it. The fact of the matter is, you are being violated by people who are supposed to be your public servants.
Well, when the seatbelt laws came out many years ago, I felt that from that time on, our rights. Well, before that, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. Really, was when they passed the seatbelt laws.
Yeah, that's one of them that Andy brought up.
That was just something that really showed me that they were taking our liberties a little bit at a time. And now, you mentioned earlier the motorcycle helmet law and the bicycle helmet law, and I think there's a very simple answer to that. If motorcyclists and bicyclists would as a group, would refuse to wear those helmets, just everyone, don't wear them, take the ticket, go ahead and take it. Go to court, plead not guilty, and ask for a trial by jury. Clog the court system.
But see, that you're still playing into the symptoms. The fact is, we as the people shouldn't even be tolerating it.
Well, you're right.
That's just playing games. Now you're just talking about playing games.
Well, I feel it by clogging the court system. It's all about money, and by cost. When you ask for a trial by jury, make them assemble that jury, spend all the time to get the prosecutor, the jury, the cops that wrote the ticket have to show up, cost them a lot of money. And if you begin to hurt them in the pocketbook, they will back off of some of this. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, but the fact is we should be standing up and saying, no, you are our public servants, and you're not going to stop us and give us a ticket for a law that you say you're protecting us from ourselves. That's essentially what they're saying. We're going to protect you from yourselves, and if you don't adhere to it, then there's a consequence.
Yeah.
That's not a government that's protecting the lives and property of the people. That's a government that's taking the lives and property of the people.
Yeah. And,
So it's very, so again, all of the symptoms, we can look at all the symptoms, but the fact is we are very much being violated on every front. In fact, you were talking about, Andy, in fact, I personally know a fellow that he just got a ticket in the mail because a helicopter supposedly said that his car was shooting out too much pollution into the air, or too much smog into the air.
Was that here in Texas?
Yeah, right here in Austin.
That's hard to go.
And he just gets a ticket in the mail, like, one day, and 2 weeks ago you were cited by such and such helicopter that your car was transmitting too much. I mean, this is just completely ridiculous.
It is. How do you defend against that? How do you?
Yeah, I don't. Well, anyway, we got to get it. I do appreciate your call, though.
Goodbye.
Do you have any comments to that particular?
Well, I would just basically say that you have to. I know I'm not on camera. I know. Basically, I would just say that you're going to have to speak up about the situation, and talk to other people about it, friends, workers, co-workers, whatever the case, and band together and do something about it. That's about the best thing I can tell you. And as far as the idea of clogging up the court system, that's something...
Well, you mentioned that too, but to me, see, that's still kind of playing games.
Yeah, well, I think, anything you can do
we should be dealing with it on the front end.
Well, sure,
and that means we should be standing up as a people, American people, and say, no, you can't violate us like this. You're supposed to be working for us. You're supposed to be public servants.
That's true, but I think the clogging the court system is something. It's a minor thing, but it's something that we should do.
We do bring attention to the viewers of this show, Andy, that every time that we are that they're passing this law supposedly to help us, to save ourselves from ourselves, we're losing more and more of our rights.
Yeah, we are losing more.
We can dwell on symptoms, but the fact is we're being violated.
Yes, we are being violated, Jeff, and it's something, again, that people should, like I mentioned earlier, people should, when the government does something supposedly for them, they should ask, why is the government doing this for us?
Right. Is it real, or is it really for us?
Is it for us, or is it for them?
Some money interest or something.
And the
like
vast...
Just run something. I want to take a break. Just run something. We'll be back in a little bit, folks.
Hi, you're watching the Jeff Davis Show every Monday night, starting at 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. Bye.
Hi there, what's going on? Come on in.
excuse me, hear this?
Boy, that is
I was listening to the Joyce Isaacs show. I never miss it. You never know what she'll do. Oh, I'm Sammy Allred. I work at KVET 98. Wonderful, and of course Joyce is on 1300 AM KVET. 10 to 1 every day. Be sure and tune in. You never know what to expect, and I'm trying to bring her up right. You get what I mean?
But we need to get some investigative place to start, wouldn't it? This is a wonderful place to start.
She's a great American.
From the location here at 705 North Lamar from KVET, we're fixing to go in and talk to Joyce Isaacs. A short history on Joyce Isaacs. She's a beautiful blonde and sexy too. She's from Arkansas. She has dogs, and she's married to Glenn Isaacs, an architect, and she drives a red car with fuzzy dice. Somebody keeps on leaving a welding glove under her windshield wipers with the middle finger gone. We'll try to find out who's doing that before the story's over with. Eric Blumberg had to call in sick when he broke his leg playing volleyball.
I'm Brown with KVET, Kimberly and Bama show. Joyce Isaacs, well, she's an expert in her field, and has an educational show. You ought to tune in and listen. You might learn something. And she's one of those that'll actually let you talk.
Whatever happened to Mel? Nothing.
Oh, and I want to tell you, you can call 1-800-962-3524 and get any of your congresspeople. After all, they work for you, and you need to do that. And I want to tell you that tomorrow my guest will be Jeff Davis. Yes, I said Jeff Davis. And you talk about a hard way to go. Wait till he gets here. I'm going to put him in the hot seat. I'm Joyce Isaacs right here on the AM KVET at 10 o'clock. It's Jeff Davis. And I'm talking with, okay, but I want to tell you, I want to give you this number again, 1-800-962. That's 1-800-962-3524. And that number will put you in touch with any House or Senate member. Vic. Well, my computer, have you ever heard the word screamer? Get on the internet system, that's right.
No,
oh, it's in Galen's book in the back. He talks about the Federal Reserve.
Huh?
The Spanker gun bill. Oh. Freedom is truly constant vigilance. Let's go to line 2 with Bill. Hi. Well, it is political. On the Joyce Isaacs show on KVET, I'm going to have Jeff Davis, and boy, wait till
tonight we're going to have this.
And tonight they're supposed to be having this. I hope this.
They don't even know about it
I
yet.
don't know who these people are. Okay, they just walked in here, but let's see, exposing himself or whatever, and the judge, he was convicted. The judge
on Pearl Harbor a month or so before it ever happened, and the word did slip out to some of the commanders there in Pearl Harbor that it was coming, but it was kept undercover. And the purpose was that FDR wanted an excuse to declare war against Japan. And so he had to allow the Japanese to bomb Pearl Harbor as an excuse to jump back on them.
Well, and that was the
catalyst.
Yeah, I guess.
Hi, I'm Dale Ross, author of this book, Who's Who of the Elite. And if you'd like a copy of it, you can call 800-410-5571.
One more time for the 800 number.
I'd give the number is 800-410-5571. If you'd like a copy of Who's Who of the Elite, it'll give you all the members of these 3 secret organizations.
Name them.
The Bilderbergs, the Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, and then the Skull and Bone Society.
What I want to ask you is, a lot of people in the Patriot community say Jeff Davis is too hardcore. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I don't know if hardcore is exactly the word. I think he's not very open-minded, though.
As the producer of the Jeff Davis Show, I do want to tell you that we congratulate you for putting some of the alternate information out on the airways.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey Joyce, whatever happened to Mel Pennington?
Mel Pennington?
Nothing. One more question, Joyce. When we were filming outside, we found this on your car.
Yes, this glove, this welding glove.
Yes.
That's probably from my friend Paul Whalen, and I know that it's going to be a fun afternoon when I see one of these. I see you're watching Jeff right now, and you can hear Jeff tomorrow at 10 o'clock on KVET, 1300 on the AM, because he will be my guest. It's my pleasure on the Joyce Isaacs Show.
Jeff be able to get by the armed guards and the guard dogs?
Sure he will. Jeff Davis will see you tomorrow morning here at KVET.
Hello, Austin, Texas. We are back with Andy Larsen. All right, son. Now, just briefly now, we've been talking about trying to keep the focus tonight on the how we're being violated by people who are supposed to be our public servants. And, of course, next Monday, folks, we're going to have some people live in the studio scheduled to be here. Surviving Branch Davidians, who I think, from my perspective, were very much violated to the point that they've had several of their family members murdered by people who are supposed to be our public servants. Next Monday night, the 25th at 7:30 p.m., we're going to be live, scheduled to be live with several members. You right?
Reception at 9 o'clock.
Reception at 9 o'clock down here at ACTV, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be live with several of the surviving members of the Branch Davidians, which includes hopefully Clive Doyle, Catherine Madison, Sheila Martin, 50-50.
2 carloads, Jeff.
Yeah, 2 carloads of surviving Branch Davidians will be live down here on the Jeff Davis Show to take your all's phone calls, questions, comments, and again, from my perspective, these were people that were very much violated. Specifically, Andy, we've talked about car stops, searching of homes, the audits from the IRS, just the different invasions that this government of today is violating upon the American people. If you care to expand upon that.
I think you basically went over it, Jeff, and again, I think that people should be aware of what's going on and try to do something about it.
And that would be, I guess handling some of the symptoms is one thing, but we should be demanding that we're not going to tolerate helmet laws, seat belt laws, all of these saving ourselves from ourselves type laws where really there's a hidden agenda behind these things. Okay, we've got a full slate of calls, folks. We're going to go ahead and get them real quick. Just quickly, comment if you would.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
I saw Jeff on, or Ray rather. I don't know how long ago, but it was this fall sometime. He was talking about aliens. And then he showed a clip where he was on the some talk show, Jerry Springer, the Maury Povich talk show. And he said he saw aliens every 4 years since he was a kid or something on time. I forget exactly what he said, but I never got the full story on his.
Well, call back. He's due in here in about 15-20 minutes. Okay, next caller. You're on the air.
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
This is Tony.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, my friend?
Doing just fine. What
are we talking about, slave masters?
Well, what we're talking about, Tony, are things that I think that a lot of people don't. Just some of the basic symptoms of the problems that we've got. That being how we're being violated on almost a daily basis now.
Right. Well,
can you expand on that for us?
Yes, I can. You know,
the whole thing is leading to the one world government, and a lot of people don't want to accept that. They think it's some kind of dream or some kind of false conspiracy. But that's where the whole thing is leading to. They're trying to set up all of these laws so that they have total control, so that the citizens have no freedom, and they like it. You see, it's a real gradual brainwashing where the citizens are actually going to agree with it.
Right. I agree. In fact, it's so. In fact, the reason why we're talking about these things then is I think that a lot of the public doesn't even realize that when a cop stops you and pulls you over, puts the lights on, pulls you over, and asks you to provide all this information, checks your trunk and all of this, you're being violated.
That's right.
A lot of people aren't even aware of that. They're not even thinking past the fact that they are being violated.
Well, they've totally thrown away the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I mean, they are just ignoring it and setting up all kinds of laws that are leading towards the one world government.
Are you familiar with the War and Emergency Powers Act?
Yes, I am.
The Constitution, as you know, was officially suspended on March 9th, 1933.
33, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. And so this is what people need to be aware of and keep their eyes open to, is this total control that the elite are trying to achieve. You know, and I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but as long as we stay aware of it, then possibly there's something that we can do about it. Now, you know, I've been investigating these things for over 20 years, and my conclusion is that certain states are going to have to secede from the nation eventually.
What about the Republic of Texas?
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if this group is the one.
Yeah, I don't either. But on the surface, they appear to be against certain things that are, you know, that are good, that are not good. So.
Maybe you and I have to start a group, Jeff.
Hey, well, that leads me now. You have hung around here long enough now, and we've blown you off long enough now. I want you to leave your number with this call screener out there, and we're going to get back with you sometime this week.
Okay.
Because I understand you have some videos and everything. If you can contribute something to this show, Tony, I'm very open-minded to it.
Well, you're welcome, and I appreciate that thought. But,
yeah, call the comment line. That'd be either call the comment line or we'll put you on hold. But go ahead with your comment. But we'll go ahead and get your number here at the end here.
But anyway, this is something that I hope that that people here in Texas start thinking about, is that Texas would become a separate country with laws of freedom, with true freedom, where the government serves the people instead of trying to control the people. Because that's the correct purpose of any government, is to provide and serve the people.
Right, not take the lives and property. But what they're doing now, of course, is taking lives and property.
Well, right now they're being totally controlled by money interests.
You're right.
The helmet law, the seatbelt law, and all those things. That's the bottom line is money every time on those issues. And the other thing that's very important, I think, that people here in Texas should start realizing, is about income taxes and different taxes. That's another way to control people. I mean...
You know the history of the income tax, Tony? I'm quizzing you.
I do know most of it, yeah.
1914, the 16th Amendment was added, never legally ratified. Frankly, it's just been nothing more than a control by the bankers. It was right after the Federal Reserve Act was passed, December 23rd, 1913, and it was a way to siphon off some of the fiat currency that they knew would be inflationary.
That's right.
Oh, you see, so I'm just testing you,
no,
testing
right.
your knowledge here.
Well, I know you're very knowledgeable, Jeff. That's why I say that you and I should start a group.
Well, we're trying. In fact, we got a real nice little network going on right now. Andy, you would acknowledge that.
Yeah, you sure do.
So we're getting it done. In fact, we're doing quite well, Tony. That's why I say we want to bring you on board. Give us your provide information. We will definitely get back with you sometime this week.
Okay, let me say one more quick thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, and if we did start a group to lead Texas into
what's the name of the group?
We'll just call it Independent Texas.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to mention is that Texas is not legally a member of the United States government. In other words, Texas only belongs to the Union by an agreement that is agreed upon every year. It was never ratified by vote. So it would be real easy for Texas to secede from the Union.
In fact, it was illegally annexed. In fact, the whole thing about all these laws coming down from Washington are fraud, because that only applies to Washington D.C.
That's right.
You're aware, so all these other states are sovereign states.
That's right.
Right. So you're go ahead, Andy. You have a
I'd like
comment?
to ask the caller, what are some of the things that are illegal right now that you'd like to see legalized?
Not yet. Give us another 5 minutes.
Well, I think a lot of the issues in alternative medicine would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Get rid of that AMA that's keeping us on the pharmaceutical or
That's
the.
right. I think the income tax is totally illegal.
Okay. Bring in another state. Go ahead, Tony. You're doing good, bro.
The income tax is totally illegal.
What about property taxes? You know,
Property
the ones
tax-
that get paid for the government training centers.
With property tax, you never truly own your property.
That's feudalism.
or your home.
Feudalism.
That's right, because if you don't pay your taxes, they can take it from you.
That's exactly right. Beautiful. Yes, Andy. We got some sharp fellas. Call the Jeff Davis show here. Yes, sir. See, yeah, we got some sharp callers. So we're serfs, right? We're right back where we were 200 years ago, right, Tony?
That's right. We are under what you and I always call them, the slave masters.
Yes, controlled by the slave masters. Now, let me ask you this. Do you see people waking up?
I think that if you and I start a group, we could wake them up. But other than that, I don't think it could happen.
Well, we've already got a little network here, but we're definitely in recruiting people.
You see,
We'll start working with Tony. You don't mind working with us, Tony?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I hope I can work with you quite a bit.
The more, the better.
Okay, let me let you go because we got another segment. We're moving on. Yeah, let me put you on hold. Give us our number again, and we'll definitely get back with you.
Good.
And you got our comment line. Leave a message on our comment line as well. Tony, fantastic call.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Okay, let's wrap up these last couple calls, and then we'll put up a slate bring project to you. Okay, and then.
We'll have four y'all.
Okay, but Andy and I are going to sit in with them. Okay, go ahead. You're on the air, caller. Hello. You're on the air.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
God bless you. You're great, man. Hey, the last caller was right on, all the way, and.
Okay. Okay. Next caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Jeff, I just called back to tell you you're having some fantastic calls. And
this is Alex Jones again.
You got it. And
okay,
listen, I heard that one
Alex.
caller. It's right. I mean, I have to admit, I get on tirades because if people saw what's going on, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. I wouldn't be excited. But it's kind of like a Palmer. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Paul Revere, but it's like we're trying to ride down and say to arms, the redcoats are here or whatever, and people are saying, big deal. It's always been that way. You be apathetic. You don't have any power, and that's what scares me, folks. Folks, we could have so much more freedom if we quit letting Hollywood and the media that is controlled by the elite 100% spout out all this pure BS to us. Listen, we need a streamlined government that serves the people, just like that last caller said, and just like Jeff's guest said. We need a streamlined government. I mean, the helmet laws, that's piddly compared to...
Yeah, it is. It's piddly, but it's still a symptom.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, think about that guy who called in, and you can tell he was totally sincere, and I've heard about these cases. In fact, it's even come before the Supreme Court before. The police will just bust in your house. In fact, it's happened where informants have just said, oh, yeah, that house is a cocaine dealer, and then the police pay, okay, here's your $4,000. The crackhead runs off, they bust in and shoot some insurance salesman and his wife and kill both of them, and it's no big deal. It's hardly in the press. I mean, folks, you think, and listen, I don't get into the whole pro-life thing.
Hey, Alex, let me interrupt you here.
Sure.
Ray, we've got another segment. Hey, Ray says hello to you.
Hey, how's it going? Well, listen, you guys take it easy. And I mean, folks, I have seen the films of police, and I'm pro-police except if they're bad police.
Really?
All over the nation, they have been breaking the arms of abortion protest people that are peacefully sitting on the ground, who aren't even blocking doorways. And it's almost like we've got a double standard in this society. The liberal elite will do anything. They don't care as long as it's for them. But you don't dare touch their rights. Any of their things, they don't get persecuted. But anybody who tries to just stand up for the Second Amendment, right to bear arms, again, scum control, not gun control. Inanimate objects do not kill people. When a drunk driver runs over somebody, you don't talk about the car in the newspaper. You talk about the drunk driver. Thanks a lot, Jeff, and I'll tune in next week.
Hey, give us a call on the comment line and plug our Davidian show on the 25th.
Well, let me say one thing about the Davidian.
I'm going to have people out there watching the show, so.
Gotcha. I'll plug it several times.
Oh, by the way, you coming down to meet them? We're having a reception.
Listen,
here.
I'll come down. Listen, folks.
9 o'clock.
Listen, the
next Monday.
The Branch Davidians have been demonized, and I don't know exactly what went on, but they look like pretty good people to me.
Well, you come down and find out for yourself. Next Monday.
I don't trust anything that I see on the media now because I've seen such blatant garbage. I'll see something happen on C-SPAN, I'll see it on CNN, and it's pure bull. But let me just say this. I know this. I saw this in Arnold Inspector's Senate hearing, and it was watered down in Washington. I saw it live on C-SPAN a couple months ago, about 6 months ago. They pumped in a outlawed form of tear gas.
Cyanide.
That when it's ignited turns into a cyanide compound.
Right.
I saw that on the Senate. The FBI admitted it. They pumped something in that has been manufactured since 1969, is banned as a chemical weapon by the Geneva Convention. They brought that stuff out of storage on purpose. There's the proof. That is the proof. Get the congressional record if you don't believe this, folks. People have been doubting this all week. I said it on my show last week. And I'm not against the police. There's a good police. In fact, I think that's the key, and then I'll get off. We need to start having community outreach groups to the police and going and meeting with them and saying, law enforcement, we care about you. You're part of the people. This thin blue line stuff where they're trying to divide the police and divide the people, and it's a separate thing, that's being taught now in the police academies that police are separate from the people.
Well, let me remind you, several of those people that lost families to that cyanide and that fire in Waco, Texas, will be here live next Monday.
Absolutely.
And come on down and meet some of these people.
I'll do it, Jeff, and I'll plug them on my show because I may not have supported everything that went on with the Davidians.
That's not the issue.
Well, listen, exactly. I have no idea how they are because all I got was media screening.
Right.
And all I saw was those tanks ramming in and pumping in thousands of gallons of a banned gas. Now, I know that, and I know that's wrong. Again, I'm pro-law enforcement. The key is going up to a policeman you know and saying, what do you think about police busting into lawful gun owners and shooting them? And I guarantee you, that guy was from South Austin who called. That's why he had a bunch of those socially elitists living around him, and they think a gun is, like the Antichrist incarnate, and they thought a den of serpents was living next door. Law-abiding citizens, and I'll say this and I'll get off, where in Florida, no matter Wyoming, wherever you are, whenever you get a concealed weapons law, the police are for it. The good police are over 90% for it because crime goes down. And the numbers just came out. Crime has gone down since we got that. In Florida, it dropped dramatically. That's because criminals are pathetic, sneaking weaklings, and we got the same kind of criminals in our government. It's time to flush them out. Watch Jeff Davis next week. I'll see you, Jeff.
Thank you, brother. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put up a square. Okay, we'll be back with Project UFO people. So if y'all have any questions concerning that particular subject, start calling in, folks. Okay, just bring in another chair here. Austin, Texas. We're back with Project UFO, Ray and Robert. Go ahead, Ray. Just tell us what you got planned for us today.
Well, we're back. We've got a really good video for you tonight. Like I said, Robert's back. We found Stephanie. She's been in Houston for about 2 months. She's supposed to be here tonight. I hope she makes it. If not, she might be watching at home. But she's going back to Houston. She apologizes for worrying everybody. But she wouldn't tell me what's going on or what. I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyway, we got some really good. We got some really good video for you. Now, you got anything, Robert?
Well, I just been bringing to attention. This is my new book that I just finished compiling, and it's called UFOs 101. And what it is, it's a basic comprehensive guide to the UFO phenomena, and most of it was compiled by myself. And I got a little bit of stuff off the internet, but most of the stuff is compiled by myself. It's got 313 entrants, and it goes through a lot of the hoaxes that were perpetuated in the late 80s and early 90s, and it's pretty good. If you want a copy, just get a hold of us here at Project UFO. And that's what I've got to say tonight.
Okay, I've got just 2 gripes before we go to video and some calls. Hello? Over here, there we go. 2 gripes before we go to videos and calls. First off, I just heard on the radio this afternoon the government's trying to claim that what brought down Flight 800 was a meteor. Now, how stupid do they think the American public is? They couldn't think of any other excuse, so hey, it's a meteorite. Anyway, if anybody has any comment on that, please call. Also, my other gripe is Mr. Tony, and I hope Mr. Tony does not call. Mr. Tony called me the day, Tuesday, when, excuse me, it was Friday, after we had our Thursday show. Now, I'm not trying to, how do you say, just stand up for it, or not really stand up for anybody, but give me a break. You know, he was trying to tell me that the film of the shuttle that shows the UFO taking off, nobody knows Tony, but Tony is into this Pleiadian stuff and thinks that everything that's done is Pleiadians. I'm sorry, but there are other civilizations out there other than Pleiadians. Okay, I'm up to here with Pleiadians. He also was trying to tell me, yeah, he was trying to tell me that the ship that took off in that footage was Pleiadian, and I told him, give me a break. You don't know that for a fact. He said, yes, I do. I said, no, you don't. You weren't on the ship. You weren't on the shuttle. You do not know. Okay? After that, he kind of got upset with me and said, oh, well, the Pleiadians don't like what you're doing. And I said, what are you talking about? Well, they don't like gay people. I'm like, well, give me a break. Okay? Any advanced civilization is not going to take any, anything like that into account. I mean, there is gayness in animals, in nature. Watch National Geographic, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox about that. And Tony, please don't call because I'll hang up on you. Anyway, let's take some calls.
Strange comment.
Well, you don't know what you're getting into, Jeff. Tony tried to befriend me and everything with all his stuff. You don't know what you're getting into because the man is a nut. I'm telling you.
Okay. Well,
he will bother you night and day, call after call. He will try to come over to your house every afternoon. The man doesn't work for a living, so I don't know.
Well, we've got extra help right
Well, let's go ahead and take some calls.
Well, Tony, if you're still watching, he probably is, because I just got a phone with him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're getting into, Jeff. I went down this road already. The man is strange.
Call and rebuttal. Okay, let's go to some. We got 2 calls on the air. You're on the air, caller.
Yeah, Ray, I saw you a few weeks ago. You were talking about you were on the Maury Povich show, and you mentioned that you saw. I didn't get the whole story on. I was trying to watch your show to get the whole story about how you saw an alien at a particular time every 4 years or something like that.
It's not a particular time. It's every 4 years, right around March, April, May, somewhere around that.
And what did they look like?
So far, it was the little grays. The only ones I've encountered were the little grays for till about 4 years ago. I encountered these praying mantis-looking ones. They come in that triangular ship. I've never seen anything else other than the little grays until that time.
And so you believe that the aliens really exist, and it's not put up by the government or anything?
Well, like I told Tony, I'm a realist. I don't believe anything I can't touch, see, or feel. You know what I mean? And sometimes what you see is deceiving also. But if I can't touch it, feel it, I don't believe it.
Okay, did you touch it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and so you believe that there are aliens within the world, other civilizations, etc.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for your call. Okay, next caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi Ray, this is Mike. Hey Jeff, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, and you?
Pretty good. A couple of things. Comment about Flight 800.
Uh-huh.
Could it have been a missile?
Well, that's what everybody thinks. That's what I think it was.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that memo that the Secret Service guy gave to
Pierre Solinger.
Right. Is trying to bring out that same. Well, not the same. A Secret Service agent came over to my shop and showed me a memo like that, and that's where I've been telling people all this time for the past month and a half that it was a missile. And the government needs to fess up to it.
The first deal they came out with was it was either a bomb or a missile. It's like, hey, this is...
Well, FBI came out and said it's a missile, and then the White House says, oh, no, it's not. We don't know what it is yet.
The first time, Ray, it was militias and Eastern...
No, well, the first time on CNN, FBI came out and said it was a missile. Then the White House came out and said, no, that's not our statement. It's not a missile. We don't know what it is yet. We're not going to say what it is yet.
Right, definitely, though. It came from the water up, and it wasn't from a UFO.
Thank you.
Okay. Implant question. Had you ever checked yourself out to make sure you didn't have one?
To
know for sure. And the other part of that, have you ever heard of implants through the ear canal?
The only thing that's really strange on me is there's a object which is close to my spinal cord, and the doctor couldn't figure out why it was there or what. He said he would not even think about taking it out because it would paralyze me.
All right.
I might
have you
add
ever heard of implants done anywhere else, like up the nasal passage or in
No.
the ear canals? Or
Nothing. I've had it x-rayed, nothing.
I might add that there's a team of doctors in California now that have been actively taking out implants from patients, and they're doing it free of charge.
Yeah, but I mean, where are they mostly coming from? On the body?
All over the body, from everywhere. There's no certain spot in particular. They're coming from everywhere.
And is there any type of electromagnetic detection deal where you could use to, you know?
Well, they have been run through an array of different tests. I don't know whether they're electromagnetic or not, but they certainly do seem to be something of a carbon-based object, but they are real.
The next time I come on, I'll bring a book that shows pictures of all the different implants. They have actual pictures of them. They're starting to investigate them now.
Well, I mean, I guess are the most of them, are they a silicone-based or are they a metallic-based? So that, you know, so it's like a metal detector type.
I think they're both. They're both. I just got a question from somebody who didn't want to come on the air. And it's a good question. Do you think that perhaps there was a passenger on board Flight TWA Flight 800 that the government wanted to get rid of, so they blew up the plane? It's a good possibility. Look what happened to Clinton's.
Anybody checked into that?
Right.
Who was the passenger? What was the passenger list?
I don't think they've even given that yet, have they?
I'm not sure whether they put a listing out or
Double
not.
check that with the who's list and all those other lists.
It could very well that could very well be the case. You never know. Or it could have been a personal vendetta that somebody had brought upon somebody else. You know, they've already investigated that. They've asked those painful questions.
Okay. Cool. Appreciate your call, man.
Yeah, I had the one last call if Jeff has got time to cover it.
Yeah,
the show I missed was all the stuff on the lights around town. You know, the traffic lights, all the different apparatuses are strapping onto these things, and I know they have various usages and plus what they're actually telling they're for, but that was a real interesting show, and I only got to catch glimpses of it, so if there's ever a chance you get to recap on that deal in the next couple of weeks, please.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I want to just mention this. It's up to you all, because it's, we've got to about 3 minutes of the black helicopters.
I've got some on that tape I'm going to show.
Okay.
Talks about the black projects.
Yeah, we found this. We found this flying right over Austin. Your next caller.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Mike, and I have a friend named Hans. The guy in blue, I think I saw you on, Jenny Jones or one of those?
Maury Povich.
Maury Povich, that's right. And I was curious, a lot of the things you said agree with what my friend Hans said. He says he was abducted, and he's never lied as far as I know in his life. And there's just little things, like I thought that maybe you would know that he says happened to him, and maybe you'd know better than anyone else if he's lying or if, maybe this could happen or something.
What are they?
Well, he says, but he lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and he says that one day driving, he was just driving, he sees this massive lights, and then all of a sudden he's out of his car and he's in some waiting room. So very bright, very bright. And I was curious, you said the grays, and since this abduction, quote unquote, he says that he's researched it a lot, and there are different classes of alien, different colors and whatnot. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And even in the gray civilization, there's
you said there's 3 or
different heights. Also, there's 6-foot grays, and there's 3-foot grays.
He said they were all shorter than him, and he thought they might be kids, and maybe they were playful or something. But then he went into the surgery stuff, and that's when he just stops talking. That's when he just doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, when I went into hypnosis, that's when I stopped talking too, and we had to go into deeper hypnosis to get that information out. The hypnotherapist said that I was so scared that it was blocked out.
Would you recommend hypnosis for?
If he wants to find out what's going on, it's like reliving it again. I mean, but the hypnotherapist can put into his head where he won't be scared.
Okay, yeah, I'm just concerned about him. Cause,
if I was him, I would just to find out what went on, because to me it was very important to find out what went on. It's like having a piece of your life missing.
Okay, where did you have your experience? Was it here in Texas or?
Yes, it was here in Texas, a small town called Three Rivers between Corpus and San Antonio. And what's really strange is after my story came out, 12 other people in that town came forward with their abduction stories, and 50 other people came forward with their stories of things that they'd seen.
That's the thing. He said it happened about 4 years ago, and then like the stuff has resurfaced, so he doesn't feel like he's going to be an outcast by saying it. I don't know. I'm proud of him for telling me. I just thought he was lying for the longest time, and then I saw you, and I figured, wow. You know,
Well, as you'll see on TV, more and more people are coming forward to tell their stories because they're realizing, hey, we're not crazy. This is actually happening.
Well, yeah, and as far as government involvement, I heard that the Star Wars program was initially just to keep aliens out or something.
That's exactly what it's for.
Is that really?
Combat defense system.
That's crazy.
Orbital perimeters.
Well, I thank you for putting me on.
Thanks. I appreciate it,
Y'all
man.
take it easy.
Next call.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I know Tony, and he's a very good man, and he's very knowledgeable, and I don't agree with anything that Ray just said about him. In regard
Hey, wait. Do you agree what he told me? Do you agree? That's just like racism.
Yes, I agree with him.
So you hate homosexuals then, right?
Homosexuality is wrong, and I believe that.
Okay, cut it. I don't want to listen to her. Please, give me a break. I ain't got time for bullshit. Excuse my language. We can't run your video because it's... Yes, it is. It's on SP. It's on SP. Take the next call.
Next call? Okay, we'll take another call, please. Go ahead.
You're on the air, caller. Hello. You're on the air. Huh? No screen ones? Okay. Okay, folks.
Well, it's 3 hours is long, isn't it?
No, that's not. Okay, let me just mention, again, folks, to reiterate, next Monday, we're going to be having a 3 hours of live call-in with Branch Davidians, surviving Branch Davidians, and then there's going to be a reception at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Right here at the ACTV studios?
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Okay, so any of you all that have any concerns or questions relating to anything in Waco, give us. Be sure to be watching next Monday, same time, same channel, 7:30, channel 10, and we'll have several of them here. I also see, Robert. This is something that I don't like to get involved in. This bickering.
Me too.
Yeah, I would like to invite Tony to go ahead and call and certainly rebut the remarks of Ray.
Well, we're still open.
What are you talking about?
We're still open for help here. Video set.
Yeah, I know that. I'm aware of that. Okay, we have a caller? The video, do you want to go with, let's go with the caller, then we'll go to the video.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the air, caller. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
What do you guys know about the Hail Bob comic?
Hey, I'm glad you asked that because a lady just called me tonight on it from Three Rivers. Supposedly there's something behind it that they've tracked and that they've gotten pictures of, and it's supposedly what they say. They're not sure yet, but they're saying they think it might be a big old ship.
That's the fragment that they, one of the pictures shows. Have you seen any of the pictures off the internet, any of the home pages?
No, but they're saying it has some kind of a heat trail behind it.
Yeah, and the heat trail it's too far from the sun to have the, whatever they call it, the heat trail.
Right, it's not a vapor trail, it's a heat trail.
There's I think it was from the NASA site. There was a series of pictures, and I think these were from last year. And the pictures, it's odd because the pictures are numbered. Actually, there's times on the pictures, and there's a 15-minute difference between the pictures. And one set, the earlier set of pictures shows one object. The latter set shows two objects. And all the pictures in between the two are gone. In other words, in essence, showing the object separating or an object coming from behind what is the supposed comet. Or it's extremely interesting. Well, it's not what I found on the internet. And what they're talking about, have you heard of, what they're talking about is it's supposed to be a big cover-up.
Well, they're saying this thing's supposed to come real close to the Earth, but it's not going to hit it.
It's supposed to not be any closer than the sun, but it's what they said on the internet side is that it's supposed to be as large as the sun. and pieces of the comet are supposedly, bits of the comet are breaking off, and that's, comets don't do that.
No.
It's interesting.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, tell me about it. I got a lot of information off of the Art Bell site on the internet. But
does Art Bell discuss a lot of that?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That's what the show's mainly about.
Really?
Yeah, Art Bell's a great source.
extremely interesting. Anyway, good show, man.
Appreciate your call.
Okay.
All right, let's go to this video, and then we'll go to some some more calls.
We'll be right back, folks. Just hang on the line. We'll be right back.
Get your VCR ready.
How long is this? How long is it?
About 10 minutes. In the comments. Tell them in the comments. We got 30 minutes.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're having technical difficulties. Tape was playing, but I don't know, the machine's not playing it right. It was a really good video. I'll try to get another copy for you. Anyway, I guess we'll just take calls the rest of the time. Hello, caller. Caller.
Hi, I just got clicked over. I was calling to see if you could tell me the easiest way to get a copy of the video where the space shuttle filmed all the footage of the outer space and then the lightning on Earth and explosions.
Well, yeah, actually, either from there or you can, it's on Richard Hoagland's second edition, second part of his, the Martian Chronicle series, his Martian series. And it's at the end of that. He devotes about half an hour to it. It's at the end of his video right there. You can get that. It's really cool. Yeah.
I'm sure at Book People they should have copies.
Mm-hmm.
Where would I get it?
Book People?
Book People?
Yeah, I'm sure they would have something on it.
Richard Hoagland?
Richard Hoagland.
Hoagland's Mars.
Right.
Okay.
It's in the second series. There's 3 tapes in the series. It's the second one, and he devotes about 30 minutes to that particular sighting, which happened in 1991. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hello. Alex Jones is a jarhead.
Come on.
No, he's not.
Come on.
Next caller. You're on the air.
Hello, yes. My name is Max, and it just occurs to me that I've listened to the UFO debate for years, and it seems to me that people miss the most important aspect of the whole debate, which is whether UFOs are for real or whether they're some sort of government fabrication for ulterior motives.
It looks like they're both, though.
It doesn't really matter whether it's one or the other or both or what, because the end result is the same, which is the death of personal freedom, which is sad.
Well, that's a good point. That's
And you guys are
Hit the
doing
nail
a
on
great
the head.
job. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, yeah. This guy hit the nail right on the
You
head.
sure did. Boom.
Okay, got another caller?
Yeah.
Project UFO, you're on the air.
Hello, caller.
Well, screening calls. We got to screen calls, right? Let's talk about the book or something.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've just...
Dead air.
I've written a book. This new one I've compiled is called UFOs 101, and it's a basic comprehensive guide to the UFO phenomena. It's got 313 entries, and it's in an A through Z format. And it covers everything from the abduction phenomena to Zeta Reticuli. And one of my favorite cases is the Cash Landrum episode of 1980. I've done some very interesting research on there that maybe we'll come out on the air and talk about it one of these days.
It's really funny, Chuck, about that Betty Cash, because the ship that they saw that the government was trying to test flight at night looked exactly like the one that landed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania in 1965.
Right.
Yeah. It looks exactly like the same
Make sure
thing.
you mention that we're coming to you live November 18th, and give us a call on the number on the screen, because they might think it's text.
Okay.
So we're live November 18th.
This is live November 18th, 1996. There's the number to call, 477-2288. We got any calls?
Yeah, we're screening.
Okay, they're trying to screen calls here. Looks like one hung up. Takes a little while to screen calls.
Hey, dead air.
I might add, there was a very interesting UFO sighting in Cincinnati, I guess yesterday, that was witnessed by about 60 people. And one couple even said that one of the UFOs shined a very bright light on them for about 20 minutes. And like I said, it was a very well documented case. It just happened yesterday or the day before, and it was witnessed by lots of people in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. So it was very credible.
Oh, we got
sighting.
you got a call
Okay.
on there. You got a caller?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what is your opinion on Area 51?
It's closed down.
Closed down?
Yeah, they moved everything to Colorado. Too many people are going out to Area 51 to try to see something.
You think?
Yeah, I know. Also, they moved a lot of stuff to Utah. They had a big land grab.
Yeah.
Where the government had that big land grab, they moved a lot of stuff there too.
Well,
You know, they did the illegal thing and just grabbed a bunch of land. But it's government. They can do what they want. Anyway, I just got a question handed to me. And it says, would you comment on these comparisons of aliens to demons? I think people in the past got aliens confused with demons because they didn't know what else to call them. You know, and ancient drawings of demons kind of look like aliens, actually, little grays. Like I said, it's just...
Well, I might add something that some people on the hardcore Christian right believe that aliens are satanic demons. They believe the other way around, and they believe that the abduction phenomena is solely responsible.
It all comes up with what you've been brought up to believe. They need to open their minds and understand that there are other beings, other civilizations out there. We're not the only ones. You know, God didn't tell us about his other projects.
Well, I saw a real interesting video that the hardcore right Christian thing had done, and it was very interesting. The first half of it was very informative. The second half went on to say how it was all responsible because of demons. That was solely responsible. Working demons and other alien beings,
I think that the Bible has been changed so many times. Nobody really knows what the real truth is. You know, it's been changed to keep man in bondage. I mean, everybody has their own version now. Every religion thinks that they're right and everybody else is wrong. So who really is right?
Right.
I'm right now.
I might add some very interesting literature that I've been reading. A book called The 12th Planet by Zachariah Sitchin.
I've heard about that.
It's a great book, and it goes into the translation of ancient Mesopotamian text, the cuneiform text, and it's very interesting. It's an amazing concept as to the origins of man, and I highly recommend it to anybody who likes any of the concept of the beginnings of Earth.
Well, like I said, nobody knows the real truth because nobody was there to witness it. So you can tell me all you want that, you believe this or you believe that. You know, you weren't there, you didn't witness it, you don't know for a fact, you didn't see it with your own eyes, so nobody really knows the origins of mankind. Whether proof there's mankind, or you created in a lab somewhere, which is what we're doing today, creating life, or, you know, evolution. There's 3 different theories. Nobody knows which one's right, and I'm not about to get into it.
One of the very striking things about this book, the Mesopotamians, the Sumerians, referred to the Earth as the 7th planet, and they couldn't figure out why they referred to this as the 7th planet. But if you look at from Pluto in, if you count in 7, you get to Earth, and it's a very interesting theory that they came up with. They believe that the Earth came from another planet orbiting the system called Marduk, which slammed into what it was called Tazimat, and Earth was created from that. And it's highly interesting. It's great reading. I highly recommend it.
I think we got a call.
Got a call?
Caller, you on? Huh?
Yeah, just go ahead and tell them to put it on.
Yeah, put the caller on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you're on. Go ahead.
How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Is the main topic the UFO cover-up?
Right.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I was reading a book by Ted McIntyre. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he wrote a book called Countdown to Armageddon.
Right.
And in it, he was talking about some of the recent evidence they found from the planet Mars. You know, signs of biologically active material in that meteorite that they say was, you know, originally from the planet Mars.
Right. Did you see the tape that I showed? God, when was it? About a month and a half ago.
No, I missed that.
It showed what it was. It's a tape that's been banned not only in Europe but in the United States. But I showed it anyway. I was hoping I wouldn't get in any trouble, and I didn't. It was gotten by an astronaut called by the name of Valentine back in the 60s. And what he did is he stole this tape, but the tape wasn't any good unless you could play it in a jukebox, which was some type of computer that could descramble it. Well, they finally got a hold of the jukebox, this one news company in Britain, and they saw the tape, and the tape showed a Russian-American expedition to Mars. It was an unmanned expedition to Mars, and showed the actual lander or whatever landing. First, it was going over the surface of Mars. Then it landed on Mars. It got soil samples and stuff. And then they showed something that looked like a snake that was going under the ground. And they say that it's a very interesting tape, and it doesn't look faked at all. It looks just like NASA footage.
My God.
Yeah, you got to see that.
And they say on their God, what was the date? November 22nd, 1962. We've landed on Mars, and there's life. There's actual life on Mars. And then they started celebrating. You could hear them in the background celebrating like it was a real big thing.
Wow. How can I get a copy of that?
I'll probably try to show it again.
Okay.
I'll show it again. It was a very interesting tale. Somebody sent that to me. I get stuff in the mail all the time like that.
Would you probably show it on this time slot, or do you have your own?
I'll show it on this time. I'll show it on this time slot. That's the only time slot I'm on anymore.
Okay. Cool. What was your name again?
Ray.
Ray. Okay. I had a question though about the biological evidence that they found.
Right.
What do you think about the? Because I showed. I showed this film to my church that I ordered through that book, from Ted McIntyre, and it's a documentary, and it was talking about the interpenetration of the pre-ejaculatory forms on Mars as far as the crustacean rectal cleavage shift. And what did you... Shut up, ass munch!
Oh, God. Yeah. We get serious ones, and then they turn out to be b-holes. Anyway, next caller.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, good. First, I'd just like to say I'm really glad you changed the time, because now I can watch you.
Yay.
And I really want to honor the fact that I've seen you on the Maury Povert show. I think it took a lot of courage for you to do that. And I know that was hard. you know, going down there, and I think that you've been watched for a really long time.
Going down there.
From wherever you went. But I guess what I want to get to is people becoming awake to what's happening right now, and making people aware of what the truth is. And I guess the point is that everybody has to find their own truth. Just like you're finding yours and you're sharing your experience, which I think is very valuable to everybody. I guess what I'm trying to get to in all this is, where does God fit in for all this? Maybe for you, for me, for everybody. And I don't know if that's too deep or a completely different subject off of the UFO deal.
People only know what they've been taught or what they've read. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? They haven't seen it with their own eyes or experienced it, if you know what I mean, physically. So everybody's got their own perspective.
Exactly.
Everybody has their own perspective of God.
Right. Well, and I understand that, and I guess on my search through all this is I truly believe in the facts and the evidence, and through your experience. I haven't had those experiences, but I truly believe in
I believe in a benevolent being, but I don't believe in the way that everybody has been taught.
Exactly.
It's been misconstrued. The whole history of mankind has been misconstrued. It's been changed to, like I said before, keep man in bondage.
Oh yeah.
You know, the church had so much power in the past, and even today, they have power. I mean, think about it. They're not supposed to mix church and state, and no, I'm not going to get on the gay thing again, but, you know, gay marriages, it's state, and the church gets involved.
Right.
Give me a break. You're supposed to separate church from state. You know, that's going against constitutional rights.
So I guess where my search is in this is to pull in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My belief in God, and what I find in hearing your experiences is that, where is God in that? That would scare me to death to know that I have no. When you're abducted, you know, God cannot come in and intervene. You know, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. And I guess it's like there's fear in that, but that to open your eyes to say there is other things, God has created other things to happen in this universe, you know, where we have to become awake to say, God can't stop everything.
Well, right, it's just like, and I don't mean to upset anybody when I say this, but like when the white settlers went and took the slaves from Africa, they believed in a God or whatever, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
If God didn't want them to have, you know, to do the slave thing, he could have stopped it right there. Which I'm glad that did get stopped later on, because it's not right. But still, it's the same thing with the aliens and us.
Exactly.
We're a lower life form.
Well, and it's like, I guess what I'm saying here is that there's still a belief that there is still something greater than who we are, but that there are other things that do intervene.
Power, sure.
And what do we do? You know, and what do we do? And how do we allow the knowledge, other than the religious organizations that say, no, this is the only way, and our church does it this way, and
Well,
you know, and how...
You know, let me just say something.
Labeled.
People believe in God unless it interferes with their Sunday night football.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so ridiculous.
So, and I guess, you know, I guess I kind of just wanted to know where you stood with that, because it's important. It's like I believe in what I believe in. I'm not saying that you need to believe in anything that I believe in.
Right. Well, first off, I don't believe in organized religion, and it really upsets me to see people that go to church just to have other people around them see them there to make other people think that they're all good and holy or holier than thou and all that, and they're really not.
Right, and then they're being hypocritical.
Like most of our politicians.
Right.
I'd like to add, throughout history, man has always tried to take away other civilizations' religion and always tried to convert them into something else. So that has been throughout the course of history, that has always happened, and that will never change. So somebody's always trying to take away somebody else's religion.
And I have one last question. It's going to be away from Project UFO. I'm really sorry, I can't help it.
It's all right.
Have you ever heard of Enoch?
Sure.
Okay.
He probably built the pyramids. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a
By
lot of
all
writings about that with the UFOs and all that, and I don't know. I guess what I wanted to hear, Ray, because I've heard you, and I just kind of wanted to hear from the spiritual side of it, because it's real important to me, and where we tie this in, and not as far as separating, which I would like to separate the religious from the spiritual part to have understanding. Because by all means, I'm not religious myself. But I really appreciate your show.
Well, I think
that you changed the hour.
Yay! I think that anybody that has been abducted has a different outlook on the spiritual side of things.
Right.
Just like a near-death experience.
You know.
You come close and it makes you take
You
things
know,
into light.
I've seen
It opens your mind to a lot of things. It really does, to other beings being out there once you've experienced it, and you're thinking, you know, this wasn't mentioned in the Bible.
Exactly.
Well, it was Ezekiel and everything, but you know, you're thinking, you know, why weren't we told about this? How come this was never mentioned to us?
Because a lot of things weren't mentioned to us.
Yeah,
Only what
thank
we're
you.
supposed to hear.
There's a lot of strange things that go on this planet people don't know about.
Well, I've been just real interested in your story, and I have seen UFOs, and I have experienced different things, and no, I'm not in a place where I'd like to dig. You know, as far as myself and my own experiences, when they come, they'll come.
Right.
You know.
See, it all comes to
it's just real enlightening to hear it from you.
it all comes to understanding. Like there was, I don't know if you watch that show Sci Factor, but it's supposed to be official. What is it? OSI files or something like that. And they showed these are supposed to be true files now. And I had heard, you know, through sources about something like this that happened years and years ago. But I was like, nah, you don't believe that kind of stuff, even when it's told to you. But they had pictures and everything. But on this Sci Factor show, it showed that the government lab down in Florida had lost containment of this one creature. And what they were doing, they were working on genetics. And they mixed a grizzly bear with an alligator. And they came up with this alligator that could stand up. It would stand upright, look like a grizzly bear with the alligator thing. It was just, yeah.
And he was
Now,
one mean sucker.
now, if somebody saw that, you know, what are they going to think? You know, the government's messing with nature here. And it's just, we're finally starting to understand how our building blocks work and everything.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I've read some books about stuff like that, too.
Now, you know, who's to say there aren't other creatures out there that have, you know, different but almost similar, you know, situations.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you get another caller, but thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Right. Look how non-advanced we are, and look how advanced they are. I mean, they're like thousands of years, if not billions of years, and more advanced than us. Just imagine where they're at as far as genetics and everything else is creating.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
That's a good one, too.
Thanks for calling. Hope
Thank
you find what
you.
you're looking for.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Next caller.
Hello?
Yes, you're on there.
And I just want to get the title of that book that the guy to your right mentioned, Ray. Something about Marduk.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, the book is called UFOs 101. And,
Did you write that?
yeah, sure did.
He wrote that.
Compiled the whole thing, wrote the whole thing.
UFOs 101?
UFOs 101, right.
Okay.
It's a basic comprehensive guide to the UFO phenomenon.
Where can you get on that?
And, well, this is the only copy right now.
Oh.
I just finished it. But if anybody requests a copy, you can get a hold of Ray or here at the studio.
The comment line.
The comment line.
Okay.
And if you
And
want
your
one,
name is?
My name is Robert Thayer. And I'm the author of this book. It's
Okay,
my second
thank you.
one. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for calling. Take the next caller.
Yeah. Project UFO, you're on the air.
Hey, I was just, wondering what you guys thought about, alien technology and, like military technology, because, it seemed like, about the time supposedly the first, UFOs and stuff were seen, that, we started getting the big computers and, rocket engines and stuff like that,
Sure. It's called reverse alien technology, and what they've done is...
Well, reverse engineering.
Reverse engineering, yeah. They've reversed it and incorporated it into modern-day military aircraft.
That's where Velcro came from, and that's where supposedly the microchip came from.
Velcro?
Velcro.
Damn, man. What else?
The microchip.
Microchip?
I mean, look, 20, 30 years ago, what we call a laptop today would fill a room, two or three rooms.
Yeah, I know.
Now, tell me, there's not a huge jump there. I mean,
Technology,
it's just overwhelming.
Look at the difference between a piano and a synthesizer, and that's another point too, because I'm a keyboard player. So, it's amazing.
Yeah. Also, I was wondering what your opinion was, on genetics and stuff like that, because I mean, it is like a a big new technology, and everybody's thinking it's all great and stuff, but it's like, to me, it just kind of seems kind of wrong.
I think they're messing around with something that's a little bit too big for them to handle. I really do.
Yeah, it's like playing God,
Right.
Well, all in the name of weapons.
All in the name of national security.
That's it.
Okay, that's cool. Nice talking to you guys.
Thanks a lot,
man.
Project UFO, you're on the air.
Guess not. Project UFO, you're on there.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh.
Hey, pretty cool. Did you ever hear this book called 12th Planet?
The what?
Planet, sure. I was just commenting about that earlier.
Who's the author?
The author is Zachariah Sitchin.
Okay, Zachariah. My brother turned me on to that. He's into this whole thing. He's been trying to explain to me for couple of years now.
Right.
And he's been studying all this stuff, like some of the stuff he was talking about, Marduk and all this other stuff.
Right, Marduk and Tazimat.
Let me turn the TV down.
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject. And Zachariah Sitchin, I might add, is one of only 200 people in the entire world who can read and translate ancient Mesopotamian texts. And through this, he was able to interpret. It's taken him 30 years of compilation to come up with his theories, and they are fascinating. Some of the texts that were thought to be Assyrian texts were translated many years ago, and some of these archaeologists didn't have a clue what they were talking about. When Sitchin used Sumerian texts, replaced those with ancient Sumerian cuneiform writing, he unlocked the key to deciphering the Sumerian writing, and it's quite fascinating. It's really amazing.
Take the next caller.
UFO, Project UFO, you're on the air.
Next caller. Do we have a next caller? I see the board's lit up. There we go.
Hello, Ray.
Yes.
This is Rick.
Rick. Oh, hey Rick, how you doing?
Yeah, it's me. I just tuned in the first time I've seen your show. I just wanted to wish you luck.
Are you still on Obidi?
No, I still don't do it. I don't do it very often. Just go down every once in a while, but no.
So what's up?
Nothing much. I was just calling to wish you luck.
Yeah.
It's a little late, but...
Did you hear me reading everybody?
No, I missed that. I just tuned in like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you missed it.
Oh, man. Is Tony harassing you again?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Clayton.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to wish you guys luck.
Closet queen, right? Anyway, thanks, Rick.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I don't need to be harassed. Yeah, I've got a question to ask you. If you could call Joanna and get my number.
Okay.
And give me a call.
All right.
It concerns alien abduction.
Why don't you call the shop tomorrow?
What's the name of it?
Texas Tent.
Okay.
All right, man.
You're in the book?
Yes.
Cool. I'll call you.
All right.
Bye.
Next caller. Project UFO, you're on there.
Yes, sir. I was calling. I've been watching the program recently, and I was curious, as far as government involvement in all of this stuff, is there supposed government involvement or cover-ups as far as UFOs or alien technologies being used now?
Ever since the 1940s.
There's definite proof of cover-up. It exists in the Freedom of Information files that are now declassified. And there has always been a cover-up. And you name it, the Gulf War syndrome, military experiments, radiation experiments, Department of Energy experiments. There's always been a cover-up. So that would be nothing new for the pattern of the United States government. So.
Okay, we only got a few seconds left, so let me do shameless plugs. If you need a good window tint job, come see me at Texas Tent. If you need limousine service, same thing. If you need a good tan, go to Tanco. Transmission service, especially transmissions, go talk to Jeff. You got anything?
Nope, that's it.
We'll be on in about a week or two. I think the Davidians are going to be here next week. Anyway, until 2 weeks from now. Is it 2 weeks? Or?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 3 weeks from now. We'll see you then. I'll have some really good video for you.
Next 2 weeks in December. First 2 weeks in December.
First 2 weeks in December, first 2 Mondays in December, you will see us. So tune in at 9:45, and I'll have some really good videos for you. So until then, I've got 5 seconds left. Have a good night. If you can't be good to each other.
Continue CPR, please. Stand back.
Something's happening.
Ooh, they're gonna die.
Shut up, Gray. Something is definitely happening.
Does anybody have any ideas?
EKG's flat. Okay, I'm gonna call it.
think he's dead?
I don't know.
All right, I'm calling it. What time do you have?
15:36.
15 hours, 36 minutes. Okay. Let's pack him in ice. Let's leave.
Is he dead, Mama?
I think so, sweetheart.
We just want to come back.
Yeah.
I wish.
I wish too. Come on, Gert. Wait for Elliot in the front room.
Cardiac arrest was terminated at 1,500 hours and 36 minutes. He received intravenous lidocaine, intravenous epinephrine, a lidocaine drip, 2.7% sodium chloride solution, catheters from the A line, and the intravenous line should be sent for culture. He was monitored with a EEG and a EKG. He was defibrillated with
They're going to have to take him away now.
We're just gonna cut him all up.
Catheters from the A line.
Would you like to spend some time alone with him?
Didn't respond. Therapy. There should be little copies of this material sent to all physicians involved in resuscitation, along with accompanying the coffin here. Could we all step out for a minute, please?
Must be dead. Because I don't know how to feel. I can't feel anything anymore. Have you gone someplace else now? I'll believe in you all my life. Every day. E.T. I love you.